didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family has done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Hello, good evening. I do apologize for being tardy. I was trying to light my candle in the back. Y'all see it? And none of my lighters were working, and this is the only one that I found. So I'm like, so I was struggling, burnt my nail a little bit. You know when you burn your nail a little bit on the side? That's the mess. So I do apologize for being tardy. So let's go ahead and get into this because y'all, I've been excited. I put this off for a whole day and I was just like, "Arr," I did not want to watch it without you. I didn't want to watch it without you. So I'm watching this with a fresh pair of eyes and I've never seen this before. But let's get into it because now we're transitioning outside of the history of how this may have all started, which I feel like there's still some missing pieces, but we're getting enough of what how this whole situation may have started. So Brenay Kennard, she is now in a situation currently. If you don't know the backstory of the situation, a court in North Carolina found that Brenay Kennard must pay 1.75 million to the ex-wife of her partner under the state of alienation of affection law. She was ordered to pay 250,000 for a claim of criminal conversation, which I'm interested in learning more about that, and 1.5 million for alienation of affection alone. Then some things about the case. So the case alleges that Brenay used a friendship with Akira to get close to her husband Tim, who is now Brenay's husband. It's a crazy story. And then apparently she engaged in flirtatious seductive behavior, exchanged sexual text videos, um thereby interfering with their marriage. Isn't that crazy? This is crazy. So why does this matter? Like, why is this like such a big deal? Alienation of affection laws are relatively rare. North Carolina is one of the few states that still allow a spouse to sue a third party for taking away the affection of their married partner. So we've never really, I mean, I don't know, maybe people keep talking about Fantasia, but I definitely do not remember that. And I need to look into that because I'm like, Fantasia got sued? I don't remember. People keep saying that her PR did a really good job because does anybody else remember that? It seemed like a lot of you remember it, but I don't remember that. I have to look into it. So the size of the award is 1.7 million. It is noteworthy. It suggests that the jury found significant damages and fault. So the reason why the award is so high, because a lot of people have been asking questions about that, and it's because there was significant damages and fault on Brenay's part. So Brenay denied the verdict. She said that it wasn't fair, and she's stating that she fought lies for 8 days, and the jury sought sympathy and not facts. That is what Brenay is claiming. She also what else did she say? Oh, she was also stating that it's unclear how much of the award, well, it's unclear how much of the award will actually be collected, as Brenay herself questioned whether the ex-wife will ever receive it. So I know y'all saw that news conference that she had. Let me see if I can pull that back up, where she was like, basically, I don't know how she gonna get her money because I can't pay it or I won't pay it.
But in these videos and in the court testimony, the jury found that point, leaving Brenay Montague with a hefty bill and no answer on how she'll pay.
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
That's crazy. Okay, so let's get into this because I'm really excited. I feel like we're focusing on accountability, public consequences, and the return of integrity. Like, the return of integrity is really on the climb right now. I feel like in the collective, if you're really looking out into the world, it doesn't matter if it's celebrity, the political stage, like there's a lot going on. And I feel like um the return of integrity is coming back. Cause I felt like it kind of went away, but now I feel like it's really starting to come back, especially, and it doesn't matter what area of life, like religion, politics, entertainment, celebrity culture. It just seems like it's really coming back. Influencer culture and content creating. It just seems like it's making a way back that integrity does matter.
On TikTok, messy relationships are practically a genre at this point. From cheating scandals inside content houses to couples dragging each other online in the name of healing, we've seen it all, or at least we thought we had. But today's story takes messy to a whole new dimension. This isn't just your average breakup or internet drama. It's a twisted mix of betrayal, family scandal, and internet fame gone way too far. We mean, picture this. Two high school best friends end up dating the same girl at different points in their lives. One marries her, the other marries someone else. Eventually, the couples become friends and their kids even grow up together. They make each other the godparents of their children, spend holidays side by side, and post endless family love videos online.
I do think that she was comparing her life to Akira's. They were leaning on each other. They were sharing details about one another's marriage with each other.
But behind the smiles and matching outfits, something dark was brewing. Because, as it turns out, nothing screams betrayal like sleeping with your husband's cousin-like friend while his kids are asleep upstairs. Yes, you heard that right. But wait, because there is more. Somewhere in between cheating and lying, almost all of these people have found ways to land themselves behind bars and get arrested for all kinds of reasons. Be it ignoring court orders, cyber stalking, or scamming people. For those of you who already know where this is going, yes, we're talking about Brenay Kennard and Timothy Montague, TikTok's most infamous duo in recent days. The internet is
Now listen. Let's they gonna get into it, but I gotta give my piece. This woman was obsessed with this lady, Akira. And you know what I think it is? And just this is just my theory. This is just my opinion. This is not facts. This is just strictly my opinion. But it seems like she transferred that obsession that she, or that competitive obsession that she shared with her twin sister, and she just put all of that focus on Akira. That's what it seems like, because the more I go down this rabbit hole, she grew obsessed with Akira. Akira has a criminal case against her for gang stalking. Brenay was already arrested for that, but the pending case, the court hearing is coming up soon. I don't know how soon. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I know it's still in the process that this lady has been arrested for gang stalking Akira, and she was accused of stalking her. And I'm assuming that if you get arrested for gang, or not, I'm sorry, not gang stalking, y'all. I have gang stalking on the brain because I get gang stalked online. I'm sorry, cyber stalking. She got arrested for cyber stalking online. And that tells me that Akira must have had evidence for that. So it's December the 9th. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna have to tune in for that. So she was arrested for cyber stalking. Okay. And then it's still a pending case. So I guess we'll have to catch up with that later. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Oh, the obsession though. Can we get into that? Now, the weird thing about Brenay is that she claims to be Christian. Like, I was on her Snapchat. I was being nosy. And no shade, but I really want to know. I was on her TikTok, and now TikTok has changed so much to where it leaves up your story for like 3 days. So I'm going back 3 days, going through all of her Snapchats, and is it just me, or they was advertising Ozempic a lot on her story? And I'm trying to figure out, like, is that just Snapchat? Or is that Snapchat being shady when it comes to Brenay? Because, girl, the amount of times Ozempic, the ad kept playing, I was just like, damn, what are y'all trying to say? Do I need to lose some weight? Like, what the hell? And it kept playing over and over again. So is that TikTok, or is that just her ads? I really want to know. That is shady as hell. And I was trying to get through her. And then listen, another thing too, y'all. I have not been putting ads on my YouTube videos. That's YouTube, and it's obsessive. That is not me. And then I'm going through Snapchat and I'm like, damn, these ads are obsessive. And they kept showing Ozempic, y'all, over and over again. At some point, I was like, damn, should I screen record this? Because I don't want people to think I'm being shady. I'm being so for real. So I just want to know, like, is that Snapchat? It's just, it heavily promotes Ozempic on Snapchat, or is that just Brenay's Snapchat? Let me know, because I'm just really interested in knowing what that shit was about. Okay, so let's get into the obsession when it comes to Brenay. So I was on her TikTok. She has a scripture in her banner on her Snapchat, and I'm just like, it goes back into what I was saying. The practitioner girlies that I talk to and work with, they're always telling me that Christian women, religious women, come in to see her when it comes to love spells all the time. They come in to see her the most. She owns a spiritual shop. So I'm like, wow. So don't think that this is just new, like this is just a Brenay thing. There are a lot of religious women that go in for love spells when it comes to spiritual practices and spiritual shops and things like that. So actually, this is not shocking to me if this is like some type of destiny swap, or she did some type of root work and she's still like this Christian woman. They are in the shop more than any other woman trying to get love spells. That's what I was told by people that work in the shop. So I was like, oh, crazy. Because I've never been in there for a love spell. That's crazy. I've always been in there for like protection and stuff like that. So that was my first time ever hearing that. But let's get into how most likely uh she was trying to do some type of destiny swap, because that's what it really looks like. We can start here. She copied her hair. She copied her insecurities, which I thought that was crazy. She copied her, like, posting her body whenever she would post her body, then Brenay would post her body. Like, Akira would be in the gym, then Brenay would go to her bathroom mirror and post a photo of her full body. It got really weird. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So then the car thing, like, she was also mirroring and monitoring Akira when they were friends. And I feel like this kind of showed up in the car. Yeah, the insecurities is kind of weird.
Proof Brenay been monitoring Akira's spirit.
Rambo. You broken? Dang! I don't know where my finger went. Would it been all the way back, and I broke the fingernail. That's why he don't got the eco mode on. Cause it's feels like way more race carish. Really? Than it normally. Oh, cause he was trying to race. Y'all almost fell because of her. It's her fault. I don't drive no more, so it's weird. Really? Because he be driving.
You know what was very weird about this is when I went down the rabbit hole, at one point Brenay was calling her best friend.
I don't drive no more. Girl, don't do your husband like that. Don't do him like that. Devin would be pissed if I got him that. But look at all these, they all for $1, y'all. These are for me. Oh my God. Why are we like this? We're such kids. It smells good. It's good, huh? Yeah. Yours need to be a little bit higher, because that's a total. Mine, I stand on my tippy toes like a beetle.
So this was like, this is just inside their friendship, okay? So it was that. Then, oh, she copied a drink of hers too, and I thought that was weird. I'm like, damn.
That is why I stick to my Olipop and my Poppy. That I love. What do they call, babe? The Olipops?
Yeah.
Olipops, okay? That is why I stick to my Olipop and my Poppy. That I love. What do they call, babe? The Olipops?
Yeah.
Olipops, okay?
That's crazy. This is so weird, y'all. So, and then that's Tim in the background saying Olipop, trying to give her the correct name for her drink that she's really into now all of a sudden. That is so freaking weird. This whole thing is weird. Then she copied her hair. Let me see.
I got married in Italy. Am I saying you copied me by getting married in Italy?
Head is literally an egg.
Who performed at my wedding?
But I gotta get used to the braids.
Andrea Bocelli.
But
Now, I want to make this known that this was being documented in the timing of everything, okay? So when Akira would go get her hair done a certain way, then Brenay would pop out with that. And if Akira went and did this, then Brenay would pop out with that. So people documented, in which that means you be watching both, which I'm like, I kind of get it because this is messy. But they kept going back and forth. Like every time Akira would do something, then she would pop out and do it. And some of it was, I don't know if it was before they split and she got with Tim, and then still after the fact. And I think the reason why Brenay is doing it after the fact is because she's trying to keep this man. She's trying to keep this man. And so I feel like she's trying to keep up with still, and which is part of the root work. Like if you were here for part 1 about the coyote teeth, well, part of doing the root work is you have to copy what that woman was doing in order to really, I guess you could say, keep up that attraction that you redirected to you, right? So you have to kind of mirror what the wife was doing when she did the root work, copy and paste. This is insane, but that's what she did.
Who performed at Courtney's wedding?
And that's what she's still doing.
Andrea
gotta go
Bocelli.
shop.
You stole my wedding country and my wedding performer.
Nate is prettier.
Bocelli
Thank
is
you.
my favorite male singer of all
The wig
time.
looks better
So I'm
now.
copying
The wig
her
looks better now. Thank you.
lifestyle.
Nobody said that. Yes, they did. Scroll up. Go to brunch with my best friend and her husband. And yeah, let's just go.
Did you see how she said her husband?
Nobody said that. Yes, they did. Scroll up. Go to brunch with my best friend and her husband.
My best friend and her husband. Okay, let me go back because I want y'all to understand that she considered her to be a best friend.
Go to brunch with my best friend and her husband. And yeah, let's just go.
Oh, and by the way, when I was on her Snapchat, she in the back listening to gospel music. Y'all, this is so weird to me. She's on her Snapchat. Does she normally do that? She always be listening to just gospel music all the time. What is up with that?
Bro, say excuse me. We heard that. I didn't do it. They're gonna be like, they farted on live. No, it was not me. I can guarantee you that.
This is crazy. Okay, let me continue. So she copied the hair. Okay, she copied the hair again.
Akira posted this on her Facebook 8 hours ago. Now look at this clown Snapchat. What she fails to understand is that her Snapchat has filtered upon filters. Akira does not need filter. She has natural.
Oh, I gotta turn that off because the music in the back. Oh my goodness. I think part of the issue is that Brenay doesn't know she doesn't know how to be in female relationships. Like she doesn't know how to be in relationships with other women where she's not comparing herself. Because I think she always compared herself to her twin. So she doesn't know when not to do that. And it seems like that's part of the reason why she doesn't have friendships with women. So this is another one. So I guess that's just how Akira likes to wear her hair, like parted out to the side. This is so weird. This is so weird. And to anyone that used to watch her before Akira popped up in the picture, like how does she normally wear her hair? I'm just curious. I want to know everything. How does she normally wear her hair? This is crazy. Okay, let me see. Was there any more? What else did she copy? Oh, okay. So Akira opened up about how she had a learning disability when she was younger.
Akira Montague. I am 25 years young. I am a wife and a mother of two. Being in 5th grade, I had a teacher that helped me find out what my learning disability was and how to conquer those adversities that I came to.
I want to work with children with disabilities. I want to work with children hearing impaired. I want to work with all types of children that's in that arena. Like,
she really helped me conquer the fear of not being able to be like everybody else or succeed like everybody else. But
I don't never want to compare my situation to nobody else.
She helped me understand that my disability was really an ability. So that was very exciting to me, and very impressionable because it actually helped me carry that all the way through life. I'm still remember that conversation. I still use it to this day. I am excited to apply what she gave me to my teaching experience because I want to let my students know that I am there for you.
I'm going to school to be a teacher.
Whenever you need me, because you may not get it at home or they might not understand what you're going through academically because they're at work or trying to put you through school, you know. I really want to be like your parent away from your parent that helps guide you through life, you know.
This, you know what it mirrors to me? This situation mirrors the divine feminine versus the karmic. And the only difference, and I talk about this on my other YouTube channel, the only difference between the two women is one goes inward and the other goes outward. And when you're typically a karmic feminine, you take shortcuts. Like you think shortcuts is going to get you what the divine feminine has that goes inward. And when you go inward, it takes time. Like, so the karmic feminine goes outward and she like seeks all of these like shortcuts to become the divine feminine. And then the divine feminine goes inward, which takes time. It takes patience. It takes growth. It takes inner work. It takes a lot of self-reflection, introspection, accountability, ownership, responsibility of one's life. And they envy that. They envy that. And then they try it and they see how hard it is. So then they're like, you know what, imitation is just better for me because I just want to get there quicker because I want to look like her. I want to be her, or I want to embody her spirit, because it's not always just looks. Her spirit, her personality, her likeness. And they don't understand that the reason why the divine feminine is who she is simply because she worked on herself and she goes inward. Like, even with this conversation with Akira, she went inward where she found purpose. And then when it comes to the karmic feminines, they're searching for purpose outside of themselves, when if they were to go inward, they would find the purpose if they were to do the inner work. So that's basically what this gives to me. Y'all let me know what you think, but that's what this is mirroring to me. And this is something I had to learn through people copying me. And listen, I'm not talking about really social media. I'm talking about like in close quarters relationships with women. I'm actually expecting people to find inspiration in me to where I'm influencing them to copy me. So I'm not really saying that. It's really like when it becomes obsessive to where someone is trying to embody not just little things that you do, like your hair, your makeup, but like your spirit, your personality, your aura, like they're your essence. They're trying to mirror the very thing that makes you who you are. And that's when things get really creepy for me. And that's that copy and paste stuff that I'm talking about. And that's what this is sounding like to me so far.
I want to leave my mark so that, you know, you can use whatever I teach you at a young impressionable age up until you're an adult. You can take it with you through the rest of your educational career. And that's what I'm most excited about teaching my students.
You know the saying, you never tell your left hand what your right hand's doing or something.
This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Is this not crazy to y'all? This is so crazy to me. Then what was it? Oh, she also copied her car. So I guess Akira wanted a Kia SUV, and so Brenay ran out and bought that same car. It's weird. I'm the bitch that cut niggas off, can't no niggas. What was this? Oh, yeah, she was copying her here. So that tells me too, because right, Brenay got arrested for cyber stalking her, and then you had like people are not making this up because people try to make it seem like, oh, y'all being messy online, y'all just comparing these two women to each other. It's like, no, like she actually got arrested for cyber stalking her. So that's crazy. So I guess Akira around this time she was posting full body pics. And one thing about Akira, she don't be really posting herself like that. I mean, she does, but not really. And then she's going through a little glow up of her own, so I felt like she started posting herself a little bit more. And then here she goes, copying, competing with her. And then this is what's so weird to me. It's like, girl, you got the man. Like you got the man. What are you still competing for? I don't get it. Very strange. Very strange. Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to show you all? Not yet. Okay, so let me go back. So that's the obsession that so many people are pointing out, and I would have to agree. And the fact that there is a cyber stalking case that's pending is not shocking to me. It's kind of very weird.
Has given them many titles: messy, shameless, TikTok's worst couple. But if we had to describe them in simpler terms, let's just say they have an unbelievable amount of audacity. These two didn't just cheat on their spouses, they broadcasted it, defended it, and somehow managed to convince themselves that they were the real victims. It's like watching a car crash where the drivers are smiling and waving for the camera.
It seems like you perfect when you're not. When you're not. And then you get mad when you see me happy with somebody else. No, you should have acted right, and your mother told you, Devin, act right, or another nigga swoop her up off her feet.
And mind you, this isn't the only time they shamelessly defended their adultery and cheating. In fact, this was just the beginning of their delusional love story.
How can you scream? And I've been in your life since alone, in your life alone, for over half of what she's ever been in your life before. So how can you scream, oh my gosh, Brenay ruined my marriage, she cheated, and this and that and the third. How can I do that? How can I ruin a marriage that was already broken? Y'all already had a separation. So clearly it's something up. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's clearly something up.
The scandal first broke the internet back in January 2024, when Akira, Timothy's wife, allegedly caught the two in the act. While Akira was at her 9-to-5 job trying to keep her household running, Brenay and Timothy were busy sneaking around her home. This same home where Akira's kids were sleeping upstairs. Oh, and did we mention Brenay was literally the godmother of those kids, or so she says.
I do not have any hatred in my heart for Tim's baby mom. I don't. I was auntie to those kids, a name that I didn't give myself. Just to throw that out there. Was like, hey, I want to call myself auntie. No, name that was given to.
And you know what's making me mad about this lady is Akira does not want to be addressed as baby mama. She was a wife. She does not want to be addressed as that. She was married to this man. So let me show you. Let me go back because she just said it again.
Oh, and did we mention Brenay was literally the godmother of those kids, or so she says.
I do not have any hatred in my heart for Tim's baby mom. I don't.
Y'all, I want to snatch her up by her hair. I do. I want to, girl, just give me 5 minutes. Let me just snatch her ass up. And I know she heavy set, but I feel like I can take her, y'all. I do. I've been in the gym. I feel like I really could take her because are you for real? So and it's the reason why Akira hasn't changed her last name. She has not changed her last name. She is keeping her last name. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Like your kid's last name is Montague. So why would you want to change your last name? You know, like if it just makes your life easier. So the reason why she's trying to say baby mama, I'm just like, that was his ex. You mean his ex-wife? You mean his ex-wife? Come on, that's crazy.
I know I really don't do Akira, Brenay.
So she says, she talks a little bit about it here.
My documents say married. I don't even give you, some of them don't even give you the option of anything else. It's either you're married, widowed, or divorced, and I'm married. And even then, I don't believe in the terms of baby mama. Never was raised that way. It's a technically, not technically, but to my family, it's a derogatory term. You are the mother of the child and the father of the child.
And I believe Brenay either saw this clip go viral and she knows this about Akira. And so now to get under Akira's skin, she calls her or she refers to her as baby mama.
It's a derogatory term. It don't bother me because I know what I am and who I ain't. I know who I am and who I ain't. That's that.
Oh, girl, don't show your tattoo. She gonna go out and get that next. Girl, don't show your tattoo. She gonna copy that next.
I was auntie to those kids, a name that I didn't give myself.
That's crazy.
Just to throw that out there. I didn't was like, hey, I want to call myself auntie. No, name that was given to me.
So yeah, she was basically an auntie to these kids. Now, for those of you who already know this story, you know it's basically one giant tangled web of lies, deceit, and secondhand embarrassment. There are over-the-top crying videos, manipulative live streams, and enough cringe to make you question whether anyone on the internet has morals anymore. But if you're new here, don't worry. We've actually covered the Brenay and Tim saga before in another video, so if you want the full timeline with all the chaotic details, go check that one out too. Last time we talked about this couple, Brenay had divorced his husband and was living shamefully with her husband's cousin Tim, while Tim was still legally married to Akira.
For all who don't know, me and Devin are divorced.
We ain't even divorced yet, actually. We're still in the separation phase.
Besides this, Akira had also filed a lawsuit against Brenay that could have potentially forced her into bankruptcy. However, drama doesn't end here, because in recent days, both Tim and Brenay have been massively active on Snapchat and TikTok live streams, adding more fuel to the fire and chasing clout like they always do.
Don't piss me off. Don't, you know what? Do not piss me off. No, they did not sit up here and do this corny. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? This is really making me upset. So they really did this 1-year anniversary in the car like this? And then in the car, was this in the car that Akira wanted? This is so weird. This is very, y'all, this is beyond strange. This is crazy.
And as they continue to indulge in their pattern of lying, defending, and defaming, people can't help but wonder what exactly is going on with these two. Another thing that's been keeping people on their toes is the ongoing lawsuit against Brenay. But it gets messier, because according to recent updates, the legal aspect of their scandal is more confusing than their messy love triangles. There are not one, but multiple lawsuits involved, including the one Devin filed against Tim and the one Tim filed against Akira. More confusing than you thought, right? Well, not for long, because in today's video, we'll be covering all the updates you need to know, what the four of them have been up to in recent days, including their very petty ongoing court case, and some resurfaced controversies related to Brenay. However, for the sake of this video, and to save you from all going down a truly brain-rotting rabbit hole, let's do a quick recap of what actually went down between these four people back in 2024. The four being Brenay Kennard, her now ex-husband Devin Mayo, Devin's supposed cousin and high school best friend Timothy, and Timothy's wife Akira, who ironically also became really close friends with Brenay.
You almost fell because of her. It's her fault.
So yeah, there is that. But if we had to name the most well-known one from this group, it would definitely be Brenay. Although popular might not be the right word, she's without a doubt the most talked about person out of all of them. Brenay runs a TikTok account under the name Life of Brenay, which has gathered around 3 million followers, and that number has only gone up since last year, mostly because of the stunts she's been pulling both online and offline. Brenay is also known online by her nickname, Busty Brenay, thanks to her, well, humongous breasts that the internet can't seem to stop talking about. She's also been ridiculed endlessly for her disgustingly long curved nails, the kind that make you want to look away and gag at the same time. And while those might...
And you know what's crazy? Tim don't like them long nails. Tim don't like them long nails. So because Tim is not attracted to the long nails, and you got to understand, those nails made her a viral sensation. Okay, whether you agree with it or not, you don't got to agree. It's just facts. But Tim doesn't like those nails. So now she doesn't do the nails anymore. And I feel like I don't know what's gonna happen with her making that money, because it was the nails, it was the boobs, and it was the click clacking and all of that stuff that was making her go viral, and he don't like those long nails.
Could be the main reasons she initially caught people's attention. That's
Right.
not the full picture of who Brenay was online. Before the chaos and scandals,
Girl,
she
get
actually used
the
to post a lot of
girl.
wholesome couple content with her husband, Devin Mayo. Their videos
I don't like how this woman that I know is not clean has all of these pets, y'all. It makes it just, I don't know. It just don't sit right with my spirit. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. She got all these pets, but she not clean. I don't like that.
were full of typical TikTok couple stuff, matching outfits, cutesy trends, and over-the-top affection that made people think they were genuinely in love.
What?
Devon was the chill type. He wasn't problematic, chaotic, or toxic, just laid back and low-key. And maybe that's exactly why he and Brenay didn't really match. Even though she posted tons of couple content and painted the perfect picture of love online, behind the scenes, she was cheating on him with Devon's best friend, Tim. Now, Devon and Tim like to say that they were cousins, but there's no real proof that they're actually related. It seems more like one of those we grew up together, so we call each other cousins situations. Anyways, as you might have guessed by now, things eventually came crashing down when Akira, Tim's wife at the time, found out about the affair. She and Devon had already started getting suspicious. Brenay was suddenly spending an unnecessary amount of time with Tim alone, often trying to exclude Akira and Devon from plans and hangouts. That's when both of them realized something just wasn't adding up. So what did Akira do? She set up cameras inside her house and caught Tim and Brenay hooking up as well as bad-mouthing her in her own house. However, one of the biggest red flags, something people only found out later from Brenay herself, was that she and Tim had actually dated back in high school. According to her, they'd known each other since she was 14 and started dating when she was 15.
With Tim a long time ago. I've known this man since I was 15 years old. 15, I'm 25. Don't y'all think if I wanted him, I would have had him before she even laid eyes on him? He been in my life, I was 15, bro. Y'all want a little bit of tea? I was 15. 14 years old, but we dated officially 15. I've known him since I was 14 years old.
People also found this old Twitter account.
You know, I want to say this. Ladies, if you're over a certain age and you're still trying to reminisce about what was when you were a little girl, you have not done any inner work. And you're exposing yourself with that. Anyone that has emotional intelligence, some type of spiritual incline, they will easily be able to spot that, because someone that has done inner work would easily transition out of little girl mindset and mentality right into grown womanhood, because you did the inner work on your little girl to truly become a woman. Like, age doesn't make you a woman. Having kids don't really make you a grown woman, like, because it's all about the mentality that you carry. So if you don't do any inner work from the point of you being a young girl, young minded, immature, do some inner work so that you can really truly transition into your grown womanhood, then you're still a very young minded girl, and it's time for you to truly grow up and grow up out of that. And you know, I've seen women have kids and still, like, it gives very young minded. It does not give like a grown woman that has matured emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It gives a woman that just got up in age. So that's something I noticed about Akira. It's like she hasn't outgrown her 16-year-old or 15-year-old self. It's very strange. I have seen this, but I've never seen it to this extreme. Like, it's pretty extreme. It's like she's trying to live out a high school fantasy that she had, and she's just so determined to make this like her destiny. It's just very weird, to the point where she destiny swapped and did a whole bunch of other stuff. So make sure you're truly doing the inner work so you can transform and step into your grown womanhood. Your younger self, the little girl inside of you, actually deserves that, because sometimes we just abandon the little girl and just try to go right off into grown womanhood, and that's just not how you want to start off your womanhood chapter. Like, you really want to work on the little girl inside and then transition, and then you'll know how to carry yourself as a woman. You'll know what you need, you'll know what you want out of life, you'll know yourself. Like, it's a really beautiful experience, but you have to go through that transition, and it takes time. It takes time. It may take therapy, it may take self-help books, It may take you being solo a little bit so you don't have any outside influences influencing you when it comes to truly trying to step into who you really are. It may take time, but make sure you do that inner work because you don't want to be grown. Because some stuff, it's not cute when you reach a certain age. It's just childish. That's all it is. It's just childish.
Account of Brenay from 2013 where she is clearly obsessed with Tim.
Oh my gosh. The moment you see your best friend with, hold on, I gotta go back.
She had Tim before Akira did, and that she didn't ruin anyone's marriage because apparently Tim and Akira's relationship was already falling apart. In her mind, she and Tim were meant to be together. We mean the audacity. And mind you, she has said all of this after getting caught cheating on her husband with Tim. And it wasn't just bad, it was downright.
Okay, so this is Brenay's old Twitter. It don't understand why these teen girls think that it's okay to be pregnant, then must think it's cute when it's not. Okay, here we go. The moment when you see your BF with your best friend, that's just messed up. Wait, what did she say? And in the moment, okay, sometimes people can just be messed up. You feel me? Okay, I'm not really. I mean, I'm kind of understanding the tweets, but I'm not really understanding. Is that supposed to be Tim? Is that Tim? Is that Tim, y'all? Someone please let me know. Oh, it's okay that you can see my tabs. But is that Tim, y'all? Is that him? He looks so different. Is that really him? I need to know.
Her argument when
Who is Rock? I don't know who Rock Royal is. That's why I'm so confused by her old Twitter. I don't know. Does that matter? Maybe okay, let me just go with the narrator. Wait. Girl, I was never into the mindless behavior. I'm sorry. I was for B5. I'm a B5 girly, and mindless behavior was too young for me. So, yeah. I was into B5 and then I fell off. My bad.
Akira caught them cheating was that she had Tim before Akira did, and that she didn't ruin anyone's marriage because apparently Tim and Akira's relationship was already falling apart. In her mind, she and Tim were meant to be together. We mean the audacity. And mind you, she has said all of this after getting caught cheating on her husband with Tim. And it wasn't just bad, it was downright awful. Not only did she cheat on her husband with his closest friend, but she also betrayed one of her own friends in the process. Akira trusted her. She confided in Brenay about her marriage problems, her personal struggles, and even trusted her enough to be around her kids. And Brenay threw all of that away for a man the entire internet could already tell wasn't going to stick around for long. But maybe, just maybe, people were wrong about that. Because fast forward to the present, almost a year after the initial cheating scandal, it looks like Brenay and Tim are now officially married, and the date they chose to get married is, let's just say, controversial. As devastating as it may sound, these two people are actually very perfect for each other. They're the same amount of toxic and definitely match well together in court. Anyway, long story short, Akira ended up slapping Brenay with an alienation of affection lawsuit. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, let's break it down. Alienation of affection is actually a real law that still exists in a few states in the US, including North Carolina, where this whole mess went down. It's basically a legal way for a husband or wife to sue the person whom they believe ruined their marriage. In simple terms, if someone intentionally comes between a married couple, say by having an affair with one of the spouses, the other spouse can take them to court for it. The idea is that marriage is supposed to come with love, affection, and trust. And if a third person interferes and destroys that bond, they can be held legally responsible. Sounds a bit old-fashioned, right? Almost like something out of a 1950s soap opera. But in North Carolina, it's still very much a thing. There have actually been real cases where people won.
This is no shade, but I really want to know because I've been wanting to know, and I feel like this is the perfect time to ask. But how do you wipe your ass with those nails? I've been dying to know, and I feel like this is the perfect time to ask because when I had long nails, and listen, I used to wear the long nails, but I kept it very simple. But I'm curious, like, how with all those like charms and stuff on there, like how do you? I'm being so for real. How do you wipe your booty? For real. And you know, I got a lot of junk in my trunk, so this is like for real. You know, when you wipe and you gotta, you know, get it up in there, and sometimes you gotta spread. You know, so Brenay got some cheeks. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, how is she cleaning herself for real? I'm curious. I want to know, and not like getting your nails and stuff. How do you go to the public bathroom? I'm so curious about that. I just want to know. I wish the girls would do a tutorial, just a tutorial on TikTok. I'm about to see if there is a tutorial on TikTok because you know there's a BBL tutorial on TikTok how to go to the bathroom and not like sit on the toilet. I didn't even know you couldn't sit. This is around the time I didn't even know you could sit on the toilet when you got a BBL. I learned that through TikTok, so I wonder if they got that. I'm curious to know.
Thousands, even millions of dollars in damages because of it. So Akira wasn't just dealing with heartbreak. She was ready to make sure Brenay paid for what she did, literally. However, things weren't nearly as straightforward as they seemed. The lawsuit quickly spiraled into chaos, turning out to be far messier than anyone could have imagined. Not long after it was filed, Brenay herself was hit with contempt of court charges, accused of refusing to provide her financial records and repeatedly ignoring the court's orders. Besides this, she also failed to show up for her depositions and made up random excuses why she didn't come to court.
There's so many of y'all that keep asking me this question. And here it is. 1, I was told I didn't have to go. 2, I communicated with the other party. 3, again, I was told I did not have to go. I'm my own lawyer. I was told I didn't have to go, and that's just what it was. So, yeah.
What we think happened during this time was that Brenay didn't take the lawsuit very seriously. At the time, Brenay also moved in with Tim and even helped him move out of the house he shared with Akira. So now Tim and Brenay were officially living together. By this point, Devon and Brenay were divorced, and Brenay was gloating about it all over social media.
For all who don't know, me and Devin are divorced.
Well, they weren't actually officially divorced until mid-2025, but yeah, they were in the process of getting a divorce. There were also a bunch of messy live streams where both Tim and Brenay disrespected Devon, but honestly, Devon was the chillest guy in all of this. He quietly distanced himself from the drama and focused on his own healing journey.
You know, it's crazy how a person can tell lies on you and you haven't told the truth about them, or they can do you wrong.
My bad, y'all. Like, I'm really on TikTok right now. They got tutorials on here. They have tutorials. Because I've been wanting to, I'm so serious, just curious. I just wanted to know. So what the girls do is they take the tissue and they wrap it all the way up their nails. So they take the tissue, they wrap it all, they cover their nails and everything with the tissue. Seriously. I did not know that because I'm wondering, I'm like, how do y'all be wiping your booty? Like, that's a lot. But they take the tissue, they wrap it around all the way up to the top of their nails, cover their nails and their hand to wipe. Interesting. I just learned something new. I was so curious. I've been curious about that for a while, and I should have known TikTok would tell me.
Wrong, and they try and play the victim.
It's actually impressive how he handled everything. If you check out Devon Mayo's socials right now, you'll see that he's a completely changed man. He lost a bunch of weight, started modeling, and seems genuinely happy. And honestly, that might be part of why Brenay fumbled so hard in the first place. Especially after that leaked text message where Tim allegedly told Akira that he would ditch Brenay if she lost the lawsuit. But honestly, at this point, Devon was done with the drama. Again, there's a lot that happened between these two, but like we said, we won't get into the details of it right now. You can check out the previous video uploaded on the channel for more context. However, speaking of Tim ditching Brenay, we also came across this clip, which appears to be a voice recording of Tim himself, claiming that Brenay actually seduced him since 2021. He talked about how Brenay would come over to Tim's house, take a shower, and lie on his couch. This audio recording seems to be a conversation between Tim and Brenay's sister.
Well, she hasn't done this since they stayed at the... And I was staying there after my injury, I was staying there together. She went by the Tunnel Wilson. But we were just staying there. And, obviously I didn't work at the time while I was at school. So I remember one time I had, it's an on the air mattress sleep. By this time Akira, the kids had already left. But it's 20 something. And she come in the room and literally laid on the bed next to me. I'm like, bro, what you doing?
She tried to seduce this man on an air mattress.
She woke me up and everything. I got up right there. Another time,
you can't.
I don't know if she took a shower, but she had got on the bed and back shot position, had arched back and everything, door wide open, had a towel wrapped around her, and she was like that on bed. I'm like,
all right.
That being said, circling back to the ongoing lawsuit filed in June 2024, a lot has happened since then. After the initial filing, Brenay's attorney sought over $1 million in damages. However, people online were quick to call her attorney out, arguing that she doesn't seem to be helping Brenay's case at all. For one, many pointed out that given the seriousness of the lawsuit, it made little sense for her attorney to allow Brenay to keep posting pictures and videos with Tim. Anything they post or say publicly could easily be used against them in court, and they've already said more than enough to potentially hurt their own case. In October 2024, Brenay was subpoenaed to provide documents from the past year showing instances where Brenay had been sending money to Tim. The subpoena also required her to submit extensive personal information, including her social media earnings and details about all of her accounts. Meanwhile, through all this chaos, Brenay's mother and twin sister have continued to support and defend her. Her mother, in particular, has made several videos where she, much like Brenay, talks about God and her own righteousness, yet still finds a way to justify and defend her daughter's cheating. And let's just not even get started on the whole sister situation, because that's a circus of its own. For those who don't know, Brenay has a twin sister named Karen, and she's every bit as shameless as Brenay herself, if not worse.
You either like how I'm built or you don't. If you don't, keep that to yourself. Like, I know how bad of built I am. Like, I know I'm built bad.
Oh my gosh, y'all, I just got something. So the reason is I'm just curious. Do you think that Brenay got all of these like tattoos and stuff, the tongue ring, the nose ring, and all of that stuff because she is trying to be different than her sister, or she's trying to separate herself from her sister? I'm just curious. Y'all let me know.
What can I do? Nothing. I'm just gonna be built bad.
Now here's an interesting piece of information. Tim actually slept with Karen back in 2019 while Akira was pregnant with his child. Yeah, you heard that right.
What?
He cheated on his ex-wife with his current girlfriend's twin sister. And somehow Karen still has the audacity to get online, record herself talking as if she's the voice of reason, and defend her sister like nothing happened. It's honestly wild how the whole family seems to lack any sense of accountability, instead choosing to double down and play the victims online. At this point, no one really knows the full timeline of this tangled web of relationships. It's unclear whether Karen or Tim dated first and Brenay swooped in later, or if Tim and Karen only hooked up after he was already married to Akira. The details are murky at best. But from what we've been able to piece together so far, there has been a lot of sharing going on, and Tim seems to have been right in the middle of all of it. On top of all that, another layer to this ongoing drama is that Brenay has reportedly been threatening TikTok creators who've been covering her story. There is even a clip circulating online from a TikTok creator who claims to have received a message from Brenay herself, warning that she plans to take legal action against anyone talking about her and Tim publicly. It's giving full-blown damage control energy, but instead of helping her image, it's only making things look even worse.
Girl, with what money? You owe this lady. With what money you owe this lady? 1.7 million. Girl, I think you got other things to be worried about, like paying that lady, giving her that money. You talking about filing bankruptcy. With what money? How you gonna sue? You got these other lawsuits. Tim got lawsuits. Y'all married. So what's mine is yours, and what's his is yours as well. Right? So, girl, be so freaking for real. This is delusional. I've never seen, you know what I've noticed? And I wrote this down. I've noticed that people with the platform, they use their ego and their charm, and what they don't understand is how that in return on their platform, because they create like fans and stuff like that, how their platform seduces them into actions that eventually expose who they truly are. And that's what happened with Brenay, but that's what's happening with a lot of different content creators and like influencers and things like that. Like their fan base that they create through their ego and their charm, it literally leads to their own demise. And it's like they never see it coming. And it's because their fan base enables like every little thing that they do. And their fan base oftentimes gets manipulated as well by the charm and this person being in their ego, but they don't understand how that literally plays in their own demise. I've seen this constantly in YouTube space, TikTok space, Instagram space. It's just this constant theme with people online with large platforms. And it gives spiritual consequences because, you know, when you have a platform, there are spiritual consequences that come with that. And I feel like a lot of people are misusing influence. And when you have a platform, when people admire you and when you are in a position to lead and you focus on chasing temptation, like there's a bigger spiritual consequence with that because you have influence. And it's like you can't just be out here just moving any type of way, doing just whatever, and people are watching and admiring you, and you don't think that there's not some type of spiritual consequence. There is, and it's bigger than someone that does not have influence. that does not have a platform, that does not have thousands of people or millions of people admiring them. I just don't think people take that influence serious. And they need to. Prime example, Kylie Jenner. It seems like Kylie Cosmetics is not doing that well. And again, do y'all not understand how many young girls were wanting to rearrange their whole face at the age of like 13? And now Kylie Cosmetics is not doing that well. So just pay attention to that. You're going to see a lot of that. You're going to be seeing a lot of that coming very soon, going for the rest of this year 2025, going into 2026 and 2027. You're just going to see a major downfall with these people that have large platforms, but they're not influencing people from a place of integrity. They're just trying to make money off of them, and that's it.
Okay, I'm back laying down, but so somebody just messaged me on TikTok, and I don't know who the fuck it is. I don't know if it's Brenay behind the content creators that's been mentioning Brenay's name. Like she's getting together a big lawsuit of everybody who's been mentioning her name on the internet. It literally says, I don't know how to put it on this screen, like I ain't that fluent with TikTok yet, so whatever. Anyway, it literally says that me and a host of others are gathered in the listing of content creators who are in a lawsuit of Brenay's or some. I don't even remember how the it was worded, y'all, but that's basically what it said. Like, what the you mean? Suing me? I don't think so.
Like we said, the audacity is just glaring. But this is not it. Well, Brenay was out.
And see, that's more manipulation. I don't think people understand that when you have a large platform like this, there are spiritual consequences. And when the shadow side of influence that a lot of people don't consider, and this is why I take my platform very seriously, because I understand the spiritual consequences of influence. Like, you have to understand the spiritual consequences of influence. You really think God is just gonna allow you to have all of that influence, and you don't think there's gonna be a higher or a higher risk or just a higher consequence for you? Like, you have to be for real. Like, be so freaking for real. So this is the difference between leadership and manipulation. And one thing I noticed about Brenay, she manipulates her own fan base, which is very strange. And you know what? I've seen people manipulate their fan base. I've seen people scam their fan base. I've seen people gaslight their fan base. I've seen people just talk crazy to their fan base. It's insane. But what we're witnessing is how charm can cause self-destruction. And that's what Brenay is experiencing. And you have to understand that when it comes to self-destruction, when something is not rooted in integrity, like, you can expect that there is going to be a karmic balance. Like, you can expect that. And your karmic balance is going to influence your audience. You got to understand, what is it? As above is so below. Like, you got to understand everything has to balance out eventually. So you got to be careful about what you're doing. Can't just be out here moving any type of way. So just be careful about that. This is like a case study for karmic debt when it comes to just, you have to understand that every action that you have comes with a contract. Like, every action that you make has a contract to it. Like, you have to understand that, whether it's good or bad, because there is duality. This is between two worlds with Yoni. There's always going to be duality. So whatever action you do, understand it comes with a contract, and there's going to be a return. So what type of return are you getting? And it's very similar to, you reap the what is it? The seeds you sow, you reap, right? Like that saying. Like, all of these different riddles. You think all of these different riddles just exist just because? You think people that just be talking, just be the old wise people, just be saying that type of stuff? No, they've lived, they've seen it. They've literally seen how this plays out from the beginning, middle, and end. That's why you need to listen to them. So that's what we're seeing. We're just seeing how that energy is just returning. So whatever action you do, understand it comes with a contract. And if you live your life like that, I'm telling you, you're just gonna be just fine. Because you're gonna be conscious. You're always gonna think about the consequences, the cause and effect.
Out there threatening people on TikTok, Akira and Devon had their own situation brewing.
As within.
It all seemed to start when Akira reposted Devon on her story, and people immediately noticed. That one simple post was enough to send the internet into a frenzy, with everyone speculating about what was really going on between the two of them.
Akira! Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
I did not expect Akira posting Devin on her Facebook page to be on my bingo card this year. I did not expect that shit.
People were really curious to know whether Akira and Devon were actually talking or just staying friends now that both of them had been cheated on so badly. Then soon enough, things started to make sense when Devon filed his own alienation of affection lawsuit against Tim in December 2024. In the filing, Devon claimed that Tim used his close relationship with him, Devon, as a way to get closer to Brenay. He even alleged that Tim pretended to be Brenay's social media manager just so he could spend more time with her behind everyone's back. But wait a minute, because there's even more to this mess. Devon didn't stop there. He also filed for alimony and equal distribution of marital property, asking for more than half of their shared estate. On top of that, he claimed in his lawsuit that Brenay had been hiding her social media earnings from him and using their marital funds to buy gifts for Tim. Black Goddess, a sassy influencer religiously covering Brenay's case, also made a video about it, reading out legal documents and explaining the lawsuit filed against Tim.
Brenay also regularly took Tim out to eat and on shopping sprees during the course of the marriage and before the date of separation without Devin consent. They've been separated for a whole year. February this year made a whole year that they were separated. Yeah, longer than a year, really. So you mean to tell me she was sleeping with her husband and Tim? But we gonna look stupid when the truth come out. Baby, she wasn't expecting Devin to say nothing. She just wanted Devin to be quiet. Brenay went apartment shopping with Tim before the date of separation.
What?
I just hope that this 23 is a typo. But hold on. Tim and Brenay went shopping before the date of separation. Brenay chose to become a co-
Wait, this was in 2023? Y'all. So y'all been waiting all this time. We're the day ones that, unfortunately, I'm not a day one when it comes to the situation. But girl, that's a long time to be waiting. You've been dedicated. So all of this, she's talking about this in 2023? Damn. So when did all of this start? 2021? 2022?
Y'all remember when it asked, did he co-sign? If they ever open up their mouth and talk, they will be able to tell Devin. Brenay chose to become a co-signer for Tim for a townhome rental before the date of separation.
That's crazy.
Brenay then proceeded to abandon Devin on or around March 2024 and moved in with Tim. So y'all know when she was moving out, the townhome that they was in, listen, the townhome that they were in, when she was saying it's March 10th, it's March 14th, Tim and the kids are here. Y'all, her in Tim's place. And she said Tim and the babies are here. And
apparently, Tim and Brenay had been sneaking around for quite some time, co-signing house papers together and using joint funds on each other, all while their partners had no idea what was going on. And honestly, we completely agree with Black Goddess on this one. Just because Devon is the quiet type, Brenay probably assumed he'd stay silent and never speak out about what happened. But he didn't, and that might just be the part of this entire drama that the audience loved the most. Now, all of this information was a lot for the public to process. Devon's lawsuit felt like a slap in the face for both Tim and Brenay, and honestly, many people found a strange sense of satisfaction in finally seeing Tim face some accountability. Up until that point, most of the backlash had been directed at Brenay, but it's hard to ignore that Tim is actually at the center of almost every problem in this entire saga. He was married to Akira, cheating behind her back since 2019, hooking up with Brenay's sister, then turning around and flirting with Brenay herself, all while pretending to be her social media manager. So Tim claiming that it was actually Brenay who seduced him is absolute nonsense. These two were equal partners in everything that happened. And thanks to North Carolina's laws, they both have to face the consequences now that Devon has filed his lawsuit as well. That being said, there's another major update that's just as important to talk about. Akira has recently filed for temporary custody orders to protect her children, accusing Tim and Brenay of violating court rules. Now, when Akira first filed the lawsuit against Brenay, she also filed for a temporary custody order. And there was a specific section that clearly stated Tim and Akira's children were not to be around Brenay under any circumstances. Most importantly, their faces were not to be shown on camera. This clause was put into place to protect the kids from all the chaos and public drama surrounding the situation. But of course, Brenay, being Brenay, failed to follow those court orders. In fact, it seemed like her mother might have played a role in helping Tim gain temporary or emergency custody of the kids. Because in several of Brenay's videos, you can actually see or hear the children in the background, whether it's their voices.
This girl eats a lot, y'all. She be eating. My goodness, that is a lot. And then she likes to eat Chipotle, Alfredo. She make Alfredo a lot too. And this is just me just going through all her content. I'm like, whoo, she be eating. I'm like, dang, that's not healthy. Is that depression? Is that some type of like is that stress eating? What is that? That's not normal.
or brief appearances on camera, it's clear the court's restrictions were completely ignored.
So, you can't be in the camera. I'm sorry. But,
Look how Poncho pooping.
I know.
In the temporary custody order Akira recently filed, she claimed that Brenay had posted her children online without permission, and even went as far as pretending to be their godmother. Akira later addressed this publicly by posting a statement on Facebook, clearly stating that Brenay is not her children's godmother. She emphasized that her kids have only one godmother, who is a blood relative, making it clear that Brenay's claims were completely false. She said in her Facebook post, "My kids have one godmother, and she does what a godmother is supposed to do. She loves them just as much as I do. I have never approved of anyone else being that. Their only godmother is blood related to them. Stop claiming kids that you don't care for financially, mentally, physically, or emotionally." This once again proves just how far Brenay is willing to go to get the life she wants. As a so-called family friend, she used to look at the life Akira and Tim had together and slowly inserted herself into it. First as a friend, then as the auntie until...
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. She be making, listen, I've been watching her videos. She make me want some Chipotle. She make me want some Chipotle. I want some Chipotle. Ever since I started going down this damn rabbit hole, listen, Chipotle need to sponsor her. They do. They do. Cause I'm like, damn, that do look good. That do. And then she be putting a little twist on to it. Like she get Doritos sometimes. She be I've seen her do hot Cheetos. I'm just like, you know what? That do look good though. You are making that look good. I'm not gonna lie.
she completely tore it apart from the inside. But if you think lying about being the kid's godmother was bad, wait until you hear this next part. Tim and Brenay actually went to meet the children's school counselor, where Brenay pretended to be their mother. Yes, she really showed up alongside Tim, acting as if she were the kid's mom. I mean, that's on a whole new level of disgusting. And then she has the audacity to come say that the kids prefer living with her and Tim.
What?
Just when you think things couldn't get any worse, they do. In the temporary custody order, Akira also mentioned that members of Tim's family have been harassing her on social media. We believe this stems from an ongoing back and forth that's been happening between Akira and Tim's sister earlier this year. The tension between Tim and Akira has actually been brewing online for quite some time. The two have been going at each other on Facebook for days. In one particular post, Akira called Tim a sassy man with a beard that doesn't connect, and in several others, she accused him of being a deadbeat father who doesn't do anything for his kids. In response, Tim posted this, calling her narcissistic, bitter, and manipulative. Now, this is where another person, a relative of Tim, decided to insert herself into the drama. Tim's sister Amani jumped in with a Facebook post of her own defending her brother. She claimed that Tim is a devoted father who would do anything for his kids. She accused Akira of spreading false narratives out of bitterness. Amani went on to criticize people for trying to paint a present father as an absent one, saying that it not only disrespects the dad, but also hurts the children. She emphasized that, as a black family, they already face enough broken homes and instability, and described Akira's behavior as emotionally manipulative. Imani warned that once the ongoing court case wraps up, the truth will come out, and everyone choosing sides now will have to stand on it. She didn't stop there either.
Girl, we could dead this whole, oh, he's a present father. Listen, where he work at? Because I'm for real though. I'm for real. I really want to know, where does man work at? Because the more I go down this rabbit hole, I'm like, where does Tim actually work though? He work at a gym? This is giving Kiki Palmer's baby daddy. Is he going to a gym? That's where he going? Then what else I'm like, do he have his own car? She be driving him to work? Like that's her son? So he don't have his own car? Girl, like, how can he be a present father and he's dependent on a woman? That don't make no sense. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's why she probably showed up to the school pretending to be Akira, right? Because he didn't even have no transportation to get there. Be so freaking for real. I don't even know this situation all the way through, and I know you a lie.
Amani clapped back at commenters spreading rumors, saying she was there in real life and knows what truly happened. Several of Tim's friends also backed her up, claiming that Tim is one of the few fathers who genuinely takes responsibility and stands by his...
And we all know what that's coming from. You know, the black male worship. Don't let me get started. Black male worship. You know, if you got a black daddy, if he just half-ass it, and I mean, if he just give his bare minimum, he gets worship for that. So I'm just not impressed that these women are speaking on his behalf. I am not buying it at all, because what man even does this to his family? So no, I'm not buying it. Okay, I don't care what the sister and whoever else this is. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
Principles, no matter what. Now, we don't really know how much truth there is to Amani's claims, but according to people online, especially on the subreddit dedicated to the Busty Brenay drama, Tim has actually been guilty of many of the things Akira has accused him of. Users have been quick to point out how Tim always seems to have money to take Brenay out for dinner or buy her Chipotle, yet somehow doesn't have enough to pay proper child support. Akira has also spoken out several times on Facebook about her struggles as a single mother trying to raise all of her kids on her own. In one of her posts, she said, "So I went to Target to get a few outfits for my baby, and I told myself to focus on the one child, because the other baby just had a B-day and received all these clothes. The baby that I went shopping for had a growth spurt and couldn't even fit their socks. I went to Target and spent roughly $400 on a few outfits. I did well focusing on the one child. It's hard for me to buy one and not the other." I said all that to say I was so grateful, because if you knew my story, a lot of people in the Reddit comments were furious about this. Commenters pointed out how he'd always neglected his kids and not even buy them proper food when they wanted, all while Brenay keeps going on and on about being a bonus mom and a stepmother to the kids. Meanwhile, Tim refuses to spend anything on them. One user on Reddit commented, "Don't forget when they went grocery shopping and the kids asked for bananas. Her morbidly obese ass only bought 2. Like, seriously, bananas are the cheapest fruit you can buy. You can get 6 for less than $2, but her unhealthy ass bought 2 individual bananas, literally 1 for each kid, and that's it." Tim Brokass didn't say a word. Dude couldn't even afford to buy his kids fruit. However, we think the child support has now been granted by the...
I need to hear from the women that you gotta let your kids be around that woman. I need to hear from them women, because I'm not cut out for that. I'm not cut out for that. I am not cut out for that. I'm not cut out for that. I've already made it known that if you make me a baby mama, I will make your life a living hell. It's not a threat. It is a promise. I will make your life a living hell. Do not make me a baby mama. I will make your life a living hell. Because what you mean, this woman gets to be around my kids after she did that to me, after you did that to me? That's crazy. I need to hear from the women that have had to deal with this. Like, how do you have the discipline to not crash out? Seriously. It just gets under my skin. And then you got to deal with them because you don't want to tear the kids away from their father. But it's like, they really making it hard. Like, they really making it hard because they're childish, they're immature, they're in their ego. They feel like they have something to prove. Like, how do y'all deal with this? This would drive me up a wall. Seriously, 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 seriously. The handoffs, like, is she there? Do I have to see her? Like, it just, Whew.
the court, since Akira might be getting full custody of her kids. Now that we're on the topic of kids, another thing we found out is that a lot of people have been bringing up Brenay's sister lately. They've been posting pictures of Karen's daughter and pointing out similarities to Tim, claiming that Kira's child's father could potentially be Tim. Now, this is one hilarious bit of information, and if it actually turns out to be true, people might not even be shocked. However, before we move on to some of the more serious updates in this case, there's another thing worth mentioning, Brenay's alleged scamming habits. During a recent live stream, Brenay was called out for scamming her audience. She had actually started a GoFundMe a while back for her breast reduction surgery, which, let us tell you guys, was an absolute scam. She actually went live on TikTok to respond to hate comments and address her GoFundMe controversy. She claimed that Dr. Miami had initially agreed to perform the surgery, but later canceled the...
Y'all, how many pets does this lady have? It don't sit right with my spirit. How many pets she got? Yeah, I've seen 2 cats so far. I've seen 2 dogs. How does she have so many pets and she's not clean? Like, that really bothers me. Then what else was I about to say? I was about to say something else. Let me just continue because this is just too much. I'm overwhelmed by all of this. Like, this is insane. And then she still has 2.9 million followers. Now, I'm going to be gracious and say that the majority of them are being nosy. It's not relatable anymore. Like, you just, at this point, you just want to see where this goes with her life because it's a hot ass mess. I mean, this is a lot. And she decided to broadcast it. So at this point, are you just following her to be nosy? I'm curious. Because I did go to her Snapchat. I was one of the nosy ones, one of the nosy viewers. I just wanted to see, like, what the hell she really be doing on here. Then I got disturbed when I saw the scripture Exodus. And I'm like, ain't this something? This is crazy. So then I got even more disturbed. This lady is listening to gospel music in the background of her Snapchats. And I'm just like, okay. And remember when I said karma, I believe in karma when it comes to people who also believe in it. So this is a woman that has the framework of Christianity. So that means that she believes, based off of her framework, in karma, in consequences, in reaping what you sow. So of course, like, this is all that this is. It's like her spiritual consequence when it comes to her choices.
The appointment. She also said she didn't hear back afterward, which led her to postpone the procedure. Brenay explained that
What?
since she and Tim plan to have children, it would make sense to get the surgery now because her breasts could grow back. She also said she comes from a top-heavy family, making it genetic. But honestly speaking, it wasn't even about her breasts or
She did what to Akira's hair, daughter's hair?
the size of them. It was about her taking money from people claiming that she was going to get a surgery, then never going through with it, and never even offering any justification. During her live stream, she even got defensive at critics,
She broke it off. She broke off her hair. Let me know.
saying that if people donated and are mad, they should request refunds. She insisted she didn't scam anyone, and that she had already explained the situation long ago.
She put chemicals in the baby's hair. Yeah. Am I shocked that she scammed her audience? No, this is a woman that does not have integrity, so I'm not shocked at all.
Consultation, stuff like that. And yeah, and I think that was last year in December. So they called me before the appointment and they told me that the doctor's not going to be in. So pretty much we canceled our flight. So then I reached out to him, I think sometime this year. Yeah, I DM'd him sometime this year about a question or whatever. It's really none of y'all business. But I DM'd him a question or whatever and he never responded to me. Mind you, we're friends on here. So since we're friends on here, you know, I can DM him and 9 times out of 10 you'll see it. I'm focusing on my
At
body
all.
always. I'm in bed, we want to have kids and stuff like that. So I just feel like, I know a lot of people are like, wow, your breasts gonna get bigger and stuff like that. Well, that's the whole point. And I'm not saying like I want my breasts to get big. What I'm saying is it would make no sense for me to go get a breast reduction and then my breasts can grow back. Not the same size, but it will still grow back.
However, a lot of people on the internet have pointed
Girl, get out of here with that. Listen, this woman don't want to get that breast reduction because she feels like her boobs make her money. It's her persona, it's her personality. This is the formula that works for her when it comes to her online persona. So she just doesn't want to get the breast reduction. Just say that. Just say that.
out that she may have started the GoFundMe page purely to scam people. According to them, her doctor had already told her that they couldn't perform the breast reduction surgery until she lost some weight, and even then, it might not be possible. Apparently, her breasts are so large that the procedure would need a full areola reconstruction surgery, which could be risky for someone with her body type. Despite knowing all that, she chose to keep her audience in the dark, telling everyone she was still getting the surgery and launching the GoFundMe just to pocket the money. Now, all of these details actually blew up on Black Goddess's livestream when Tim, Devon, Brenay's mom, sister, and pretty much everyone went full berserk mode. We'll save you the torture of listening to their voices, but we're going to show you this one TikTok of a creator by the name of the Travel Hottie, who explained the whole situation, except less shouting.
Baby, between nipple grafts, seeing Devon, Brenay, and Tim all on one platform going at it, and finding out that Brenay really did scam y'all for the breast reduction surgery. If you missed Black Goddess live yesterday, you missed so much because first of all, I barely ever go into her lives, love her content. And at one time I was just casual.
And this is me being a critical thinker. This is why I don't be telling y'all to rally up behind these women online and donate. Like, girl, pause. This is me being a critical thinker. If someone that was just serious about getting a breast reduction before even coming online and asking for donations, she would have already known that she needed to lose weight. So that's out, right? So this is just a scam. That's all it was. It was just a scam. But anyone that is serious about going on a breast reduction journey, they know what it takes. And before they even make the GoFundMe, they would know that they would need to lose weight. They've already went to the consultation. They've already went through all of that process. So y'all got to stop. Like, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but girl, put your debit card back in your purse. Put it back in your wallet. You don't have to rally up behind every woman with a sob story online. My God. Today, when you think about today's society, everybody got a sob ass story. Everybody, why don't you just put your money back in your purse, donate to someone real, someone that you can exchange conversation with in real life, and donate to them. See that your money is going to who you want it to go to and is purposeful to you, and you're seeing that it's truly being used in the purpose in which you are giving it. Okay. My goodness, but stop donating to these people online, because now it's like a culture. Like, it's a culture to come online and give a sob story for donations. It is. And I'm not gonna lie, there was one girl I donated to recently online, with me telling you that I did. But I donated to her because my spirit said that she was telling the truth. So I donated to her because her mother had passed. Her sister had died years before that. And she was in a lot of debt, and her mother had left her in all of this debt. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna help you. She was super young. She was like 20 years old. And I just gave $5. It wasn't much. I was like, you know what? This story did pull on my heart. I'm gonna just give $5. That's it. I'm just giving my little $5. And on my end, it was just the act of giving. And that's it. What she chooses to do with that, wherever the money went, that's on her. That is not on me. So it's hard though. It's hard because you do want to help people. You do want to give to people. You do want to be there for people, especially if you feel like they don't have anyone. And this young woman, she was like 20 years old. She was trying to get through school. Her mother had just passed. Her sister had passed like 2 years before that. They were in this debt. And I was just like, that's a lot to go through at just like 20 years old. And you're still trying to figure all of this stuff out. So I decided to help her. She didn't have family that was wanting to help her and step in. They knew she was going through a hard time. And so she felt like her back was up against the wall, and she made a GoFundMe. And I was like, damn, I'll give you $5. So it's hard though. You want to help people, but you never know. Like, are they? Is this a scam or is this legitimate? It's hard. It's very hard to tell. But social media now, it's like it's just a pool of scammers now. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful. So if you do give, I'm assuming you give just out of the kindness of your heart. And what they choose to do with that, that's on them. That is not on you. You did your act of kindness. Now you're moving on with your life.
Really just listened, and all this stuff just started escalating. Let me give y'all a quick summary. So Black Goddess was on live yesterday, of course, talking about the court documents as she always does, and someone by the name of Britt was in the comments saying, hey, I'm Brenay's cousin. So people are like, okay, get on the panel, what do you have to say? She gets on the panel and actually starts going in, but not on Black Goddess. She starts going in on Brenay. Who needs enemies when you had a cousin like Britt? Britt goes in and says how Brenay and Karen have been popping their fangs since they've been 13. How Brenay is so desperate and insecure, which we already knew that. How Brenay conjured up, basically, not even conjured up, let me use a better word. So you know that Brenay got popular on TikTok because of her excessively large breasts. Like they're almost down to her damn knees. So someone in the comments said one day, hey, you should, create a GoFundMe for breast reduction surgery. Brenay creates a GoFundMe, and y'all donated to that GoFundMe for her to get a breast reduction surgery. Come to find out, the cousin said Brenay knew she wasn't going to be able to get a breast reduction surgery to begin with because no doctor is really going to go do that. They said that they have to basically give her a nipple graft. And what that means is that her breasts have gone so far beyond repair that if they were to take the breast away, they would have to reconstruct a whole nipple. Because technically, when your breasts are that big, like your areola is more than likely massive. So Brenay collected all that money from y'all knowing she could not get that surgery. She goes in and is talking about...
Did I not just say that? But that's just me using my critical thinking skills before I just pull out my debit card. I'm like, here, take my money, because I'm just like, girl, you should have known what the requirements were before you even came to social media asking for money. I'm assuming you went through all the necessary steps, right?
about her. Brenay's mom is supposed to be having... I don't know if her mom's supposed to be having an affair. About the mom basically is a Jezebel too. The Jezebel spirit is in Brenay. Is it Brenay's sister? She addressed the whole thing about, is Brenay's sister kids, Tim kids, or did they sleep around? It was so much. She went in, but then it escalated some more.
Ooh.
Out of nowhere, Brenay's sister, the stud, and Brenay's mom gets in the comments, which is so shocking because allegedly they're supposed to have blocked Black Goddess, calling her, she's a black devil and all. But funny how that happens and they still keep up with all the mess. So Brenay's sister, the stud, and the mom gets on the panel or gets up there and it's basically like, we don't know who this Brit is. We don't know who this person is. But mind you, before that even happened, while Brit was...
Anyways, moving on from the GoFundMe scams to the courtroom chaos, in a more recent update, Akira has officially been granted a 1-year-long restraining order against Brenay. She filed for this order some time ago, and after a 4-hour-long court hearing, the judge finally ruled in her favor. During the hearing, Akira testified that Brenay had been constantly crossing boundaries and trying to involve herself with Akira's kids, despite being repeatedly told not to.
Akira has made it clear to Brenay that she does not want her posting her kids on social media. And even though Brenay never shows their faces, covering them by emojis, she still makes it clear that she's around the kids and doing these.
And honestly, considering Brenay's past behavior, like allegedly sleeping around while their kids were upstairs and not even providing them with proper food, it only seemed fair that the restraining order was granted. But even after that, Brenay refused to respect the court's decision. She apparently kept trying to...
At this point, for you to have a woman around your kids and they are treated like this, and the public can see how they're being treated and neglected, how are you as a man just standing by this woman? And at this point, y'all, what do you think Tim's karma is going to be? Because you can't think that it's just going to be Brenay. You allowing this woman around your kids, and you allowing this woman to treat them any type of way. You're exposing them to all of this drama and all of this chaos. Your ex-wife has made it very clear that when it comes to the kids, she doesn't want this and she doesn't want that, to protect the children. That's it. It's really for the children. And you just dismiss all of that. You don't consider the kids at all. That is disgusting. What do y'all think Tim is gonna be held accountable for? Because that's what I'm waiting on. I'm like, Brenay is, girl, okay, you 1.75 million, pay that woman, and also show up to your cyber stalking court date as well, and pay that woman what she needs to be paid. But I just want to know what Tim's karma is gonna be. I guess we'll have to find out with the Devin and Tim lawsuit, which is alienation of affection. He has a lawsuit against him as well, because man, ain't no way. God does not favor men who do this to their children, their offspring. No way. And their wife. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out, because this is all gonna end bad, because it wasn't created on a solid foundation to begin with.
To contact the kids, even going as far as buying them gifts, almost as if she was trying to prove a point or undermine Akira's authority. But perhaps the most disturbing part of all this is what came next.
This is
Reports claim that Tim has been telling his kids that Brenay is their new mama, and honestly, that's not just inappropriate, it's downright disrespectful and incredibly hurtful toward Akira, especially given everything she's had to go through. Meanwhile, Brenay's attitude towards the audience and people in general has been taking a noticeably sour turn. She seems increasingly agitated, and her frustration is becoming more visible with each passing day. Lately, she constantly emphasizes that she doesn't care, that she's unbothered, and projects an air of defiance, as if trying to convince everyone, and maybe herself, that nothing phases her.
His first cousin, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Who knows if they even are cousins? Freeze the quick meal, please. Judge might throw the case out for real. You had Chinese? That sound good. I love watching videos, period. You don't give a fun? No, I don't. I don't care about what people are saying. You can always make egg rolls.
I mean, you get the idea. She says all of these things with an almost stubborn defiance. And on top of all this, she'd been doing storytime videos with Tim, endlessly explaining how they first met and how their relationship began, presenting it as if it's the cutest thing in the world. But the truth is, for many people, it comes across as extremely frustrating and even a bit grating.
It was mainly because I had Android, and at that time I didn't have no phone then. Right. I didn't know, so I just wrote my kid down on like a sheet of paper or something.
Ooh.
And he just took it, right? So then I guess later that night, I don't know if it was later that night or... I'll take it. So we proceeded to have conversations. Oh gosh. And she spit game, and she pulled me, bro. What did I say? She pulled me. She said...
Are they for real? Listen, I just want to say, and this is my opinion and only my opinion, maybe spiritually, because come back, because I be right about a lot of stuff, but I think Tim's karma is going to be way worse than Brenay. I do. It's something in my spirit that's telling me it's going to be way worse than Brenay, because you have to understand spiritual contracts, right? He made a covenant under God with Akira. That's what he decided to do. And I keep trying to tell Christian folks that a marriage, when you have a wedding and it's not just you making a contract with the United States government. Of course, they're going to collect their money. But if you're doing it spiritually and religiously, okay, you're making a covenant under God. That's biblical. Do you not know what the hell you getting yourself into? Because it just be seeming like these two people didn't know what they was getting themselves into. So I feel like, and the reason why I feel like Tim's karma is going to be more extreme is because of the two kids. Brenay didn't have any children, right? So I feel like Tim, you got to be held accountable, not only just for your home and your marriage, but you got to be held accountable for the two kids that you brought into all of this as well. So I feel like it's going to be way greater than Brenay's. So, and I think if they not already, I feel like they're already on rocky terms, but I feel like after this Devin and Tim lawsuit, once it all plays out and things like that, I would be surprised if they stay together after that, because I think that lawsuit whatever the outcome is going to be, I think that's what's going to really break the camel's back. And I wouldn't even be surprised if Tim currently right now, after the whole lawsuit and everything that Akira won, I would not even be surprised right now if he's regretting his choice. I would not be surprised.
I was talking about whatever. And she's like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about me and you. I'm like, bet. Crabbies. Hold on now. So, she hit me with that. I was probably like, I think I was 15. I was 14. I couldn't have by the way, y'all couldn't have a boyfriend until I was 15 years old. My mother made that very evident, very clear. I mean, Chris.
I mean, just look at these two. The way they're acting, it's like they're still 14, stuck in the same teenage fantasy drama they once had. They're out here behaving like they didn't just abandon their kids at home and cheat on the people who genuinely loved them. In addition to cringeworthy couple of live streams, Brenay has also been acting very hostile and rude towards people in general. For instance, when viewers called her out for her apparent lack of hygiene, she brushed it off, saying, "It's my life and I can do whatever I want," showing a blatant disregard for their concerns.
I'm so happy you knew my marriage. I'm so happy you knew everything that happened in my marriage. First of all, who's mad at him? I'm not mad at him. Like I said, I want this to be over and done. Simple. Like, y'all literally make it into something that it's not. Honestly, I don't feel no type of way because I know it's not true. And I know what I do and don't do. So there's no point in me feeling no type of way about things that I know it's not true. You know what I'm saying?
Dishes in the sink for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days. Even if my place is dirty, how is that any concern for you?
Girl, because you have them pets in your home, girl. That's why. Y'all, if you're not a clean person, why would you go and get pets? And then why would you go and get so many? I don't like that. That really bothers me. She got 2 cats, 2 dogs, and it's like you're not even clean yourself. You don't listen, if you don't want to take care of yourself or you're struggling to take care of yourself, don't get a pet. Don't get a pet. You have to take care of them. That's crazy. Or give them up for adoption or something like that. But this just makes me upset.
Exactly my whole point. So what? I can come on the internet and tell people that I didn't clean up. I can come on the internet and tell people that I didn't do X, Y, and Z because guess what? I don't care. It's my life and I'm the only one that's living it.
So to sum it all up, Brenay clearly doesn't care about a single thing. Not about cheating on her husband, not about sleeping with her friend's man, not even about lying that she's the kid's godmother. Nope, none of it matters to her. She's out here acting like she's living her best life while the internet burns around her. And the funniest part, she keeps saying she's unbothered, yet she's always on live streams arguing with people and posting even more couple videos with Tim. Because apparently, nothing screams peace and self-love like stirring up more drama. And if you think her bad attitude stops there, just wait until you see this next clip. In this one, she's basically turning on her own race, claiming that it's black women who have the most problems with her. According to her, they supposedly have some agenda against Brenay and are just oh so jealous of her supposedly perfect life and her amazing husband, who in her words, is worth it all.
Remember I said the ego? Listen, this is between two worlds with Yoni because I wrote this down. What did I say? I said, let me go back. The world of ego versus the world of integrity. But then also, your fans have fed your ego so much that you are now officially delusional. So now people need to understand how that is a setup. That is a setup for your downfall because you're not going to see your downfall coming because you're so deep in your ego. And then you have your cheerleaders, you have your enablers that you can't even see this big hole that you're about to fall into. And that's what we're witnessing. That is what we are truly, truly witnessing. And that's probably why she arrogantly defended herself for 8 days. She withdrew her own attorney on her own accord. That's what she decided to do. And she showed up and she really thought because her little fan base was in her ear, hyping her up. She really thought she was going to win that case. And now she owed this lady $1.7 million. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people understand. People always question, like, Yoni, why are you always with your family? They ground me. They keep me grounded. They keep me rooted in reality. That there's more to life than social media. There's more to life than followers online. There's more to life than clout. There is a world that exists outside of all of this shit. So I make sure I visit them. And when I'm with them, I am truly disconnected. And it keeps me rooted and grounded. Seriously. So you have to go around them. They remind you of who you are without all of this extra shit that's going on. And you sit with them, you laugh with them, you celebrate with them. Hell, you may even argue with them, but they literally bring you back to reality. And I feel like when it comes to people like this, either their families enable them because of money. And one thing about my family, they don't give a damn about that shit. We don't give two fucks about you making a little bit of money online. We know who you are in real life. Like, that's how they are. So they don't give a damn about that. But I noticed like them other ones, them family members either enable them, DDG, enable them because they have a little money and they want that money or they want access to the money. So they just enable and just agree. They're just agreeable. They're just yes men and yes women. And that plays a major role in your downfall. If you want to be successful in anything, you need people around you that's going to be real with you, genuine with you. They're going to point out your flaws. They're going to, and not from like a rude place, but just from a real place. They're going to give you constructive criticism when it comes to just needing an opinion about things. Because outside of the people that support you, you need someone in your corner that's going to give you that construction. And it just seems like when people don't have that constructive criticism in their corner, they self-destruct. And that's something that I'm noticing. But people be offended. I notice people be offended when you give them constructive criticism. They feel like, oh, you're shaming me. Oh, you're hating on me. And the whole time it's constructive. The whole point of constructive criticism is to build you up. That is what that is. If you do not have that in your corner, you're going to self-destruct. And you know what that does? It tears you down. So make sure you have constructive criticism in your corner. That is imperative. It could be a therapist. It doesn't have to be family. It doesn't even have to be friends. It could just be a therapist that gives you that constructive criticism. But if you don't have that, you don't have someone in your corner that can show you your blind spots when it comes to how you handle things, how you show up, how you deal with people and situations, then you're going to self-destruct. Part of building a good community is having that constructive criticism in your corner, even if it's someone like a third party, like a therapist or a counselor. You have to have that. That's all I'm going to say, because listen, it don't have to be family, because family don't need to be in your business like that sometimes. It could be a therapist or a counselor or even a mentor coach. It just needs to be someone that's going to give you an objective view on different situations that you may find yourself in. You have to have that. Otherwise, you know what this becomes? Narcissism. I feel like social media has created and has made so many narcissistic people online because they don't have that constructive criticism in their corner that is like, hey, like this is just the objective view to what you're doing, because you have your fans, you have your supporters. Sometimes you need that objective view in your corner. It may not be criticism, it may just be objective. Maybe you need that. So I don't know, but it got to be something. But this, I feel like the reason it's gone so far, Brenay has a mother that enables her. It really seems like a sister that avoids her, but a sister that wants her money. And it seems like Brenay wants Kareem's looks or her attractiveness, or like how she get guys, maybe even the fact that she has kids, because Brenay wants to have kids. It seems like Brenay and her community just enable her because they want her or need her for something or want to use her for something, and that's it. That's what it gives. And it's really sad to watch and to see.
It's so many black women is so invested into my story and my problems and my issues in my life. But they hate that we don't come together and support one another. But this is why we don't come together and support one another.
Girl, I'm not supporting this foolishness. Are you out of your rabbit ass mind? Listen, I need black women to understand that you can't support all black women. Y'all need to let that shit go. That is a dream that is not real and it does not exist. You need to be grounded and rooted in reality. Just because that is a black woman, that don't mean you have to be in community with her. You can be cordial with her. You don't got to be at odds with her. You don't got to be in competition with her. But you can't always be in community though. Y'all don't share the same outlooks. Y'all don't share the same morals and principles. It is what it is. All you're going to do is clash. Now, do you have to be at odds in competition? No. You can be cordial. You could be cordial. You could be cordial. But that don't mean you gotta be, that's my bestie, that's my sister. It don't have to be all of that. But we can't always share close quarters with certain women. It's just not real, y'all. It's just not. And I can't be in community with a woman like this. I would never trust her. I'm like, if you could do your husband like that, what the hell you gonna do to me? So if I see you do your husband like that, I'm protecting myself. I'm not. And then if I see you do your ex best friend like that, what do I expect for you to do to me? Like, be so for real. Girl, we can't be in community with each other like that. And this is the type of behavior that needs to be called out because it's just not ethical at all. It's just not. This is wrong, period. It's wrong. It is what it is. So you can't put this on Black women, the collective of Black women. Like, why are you not supporting me? Girl, because this is dead ass wrong. You're wrong. All right. Your little 2.9 million followers think you're right or just justly because of some little high school fantasy that you have. But as a grown ass woman, you're wrong. That's what this is all about. This is why we're not supporting you. You're dead ass wrong. Okay. And then they try to make it seem like Black women don't hold other Black women accountable. But she's over here mad at us like we did something personally to us. She got beef with us like we did something to her. We ain't done nothing. We seen how you treated this other woman, and you're dead ass wrong. It's that simple. This is not okay at all.
For one, I'm not fake happy. Y'all are literally hearing it from my mouth. Y'all can't bother me. Y'all make pages, make comments about me, my weight, my looks. I'm happy. I am unbothered. I'm at peace. It's just so crazy to me because a narcissist are always happy when they're making others miserable.
Yes, Brenay, you are right. Narcissists are happy when they're making others miserable, and you and Tim are the only ones who are living their happy lives after cheating. So that's
literally.
And if you think this attitude is as bad as it can get, think again, because Brenay always manages to take things a step further, and not in a good way. Remember when we mentioned that Akira was granted a restraining order against her, one that Brenay consistently tried to break? Well, this time it seems her actions might have finally caught up to her, or at least that's what people thought. What happened was that Akira's son had a graduation ceremony, and Brenay actually attended it alongside Tim. The issue was that Akira's kids were present there, and Akira herself was also in attendance. To many, this seemed like a direct violation of the no-contact restraining order. However, thankfully, the police were present at the graduation ceremony, and according to many people online, Tim and Brenay were actually asked to leave. But honestly, Tim has some real nerve trying to gaslight the entire internet. When the news about them showing up went viral, he posted a video basically telling people that reading is fundamental, acting all smug like he was schooling everyone. He claimed that he and Brenay got there early and that the police were called after, trying to convince everyone that nothing had happened at the graduation at all.
All right, so look, this is the thing. Niggas only want y'all to see certain things, bro. It's only certain things that people want y'all to see. We got there early. Me and my whole crew, we got there early. Nobody got there late. We got there early, right? And the police was called after the ceremony already started, right? And it's not because there is no, order, protective order. That's bullshit, bro. Reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. Y'all are a bunch of dumbasses, and y'all run with the BS that people tell y'all. Make stuff up all the time, and y'all run with it every single time. Reading is fundamental. So y'all want to keep doing all this.
I just want to know who is gassing this man up to be this delusional. And y'all, I'm so dead because I saw the BBL Timmy. BBL Timmy. No, that is hilarious. But who's gassing this man? Does he have an online following? I'm curious. He got fans? Somebody let me know, because I'm like, why he got so much bass in his voice? Why is he so confident? You knew your current wife had this restraining order against her. Why would you bring her to the graduation? Reading is fundamental though. So I'm confused. Like, why are you mad at people online that just has common sense? Like, why would you bring her to the graduation? You can't. And see, this is another thing that I noticed about Timmy and Brenay. It's like Brenay is so insecure that Timmy can't go anywhere by himself. She has to be there. That is a toxic marriage. That is a toxic relationship. She is so insecure. This man can't go nowhere by himself. So that's what that was really about. Like, oh, you about to go to this graduation? I'm coming with you. This man can't do nothing by himself. And then he really can't do nothing by himself because this man don't got his own car. Does he have any type of money really coming in? It don't sound like it based off of what I've been hearing. It don't. So it just seems like they are always attached to the hip. And I'm like, how is that gonna last? This relationship is just not gonna last just based off of that alone. This man can't do nothing just for himself and his kids. That's crazy.
Here's a picture from the graduation ceremony that we found online. One user posted it on
Ooh,
Reddit and said,
man.
I bet $2 million that Tim's dad and granddad were scolding Tim for bringing Brenay to the graduation. That's why he was standing there looking all defensive and mad as F, because they were telling him and his girlfriend about themselves. They've been on Akira's side this
Because it's foolish. It is stupid. Like, why would you do that?
whole time. We don't know if Tim's family was actually telling him that, but one thing is painfully clear, and it's that the only reason he took Brenay to that graduation was to piss Akira off. And well, mission accomplished. However, other than this, Brenay also did a bunch of stuff that, if anything, proved how careless she really is. For starters, she failed to respond to interrogatories about some personal questions, which led to contempt of court charges against her. In addition to that, there was an ongoing investigation into her for cyber-stalking charges. She hasn't just been violating the restraining order and invading Akira and her kids' privacy, she's also been actively harassing them online. As things kept piling up, people began to wonder how long Brenay could actually manage to stay out of jail. Many claimed that there was already a warrant out for her arrest due to her failure to comply with court orders and the ongoing cyber-stalking allegations.
Y'all know that when the restraining order initially took place, for some of y'all may not know, I covered that case, right? I talked about that restraining order. The information is not privileged on the e-court portals. However, it is accessible inside of the courthouse, okay? It has not been an issue. Nobody has contacted me and said that it was an issue until somebody contacted me and say, guys, don't talk about it, or, you know, this, that, and the third, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue to cover it, right? But a supporter reached out to me and said that Akira and Brenay had court this morning regarding that restraining order. They did not see where she showed up.
What?
Therefore, when you don't show up, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, I guarantee you they have issued out a warrant for her arrest. They have a warrant out for Brenay's arrest. I don't know if Brenay know it, but most definitely, they probably gonna be picking her up and booking her. I just want you guys to know. So y'all be on the lookout for mug shots, because like they did Akira, we better see the same with her. So.
And sure enough, on September 5th, 2025, a warrant for her arrest was officially issued. Then on September 6th, 2025, her bond was posted for the cyber-stalking charges.
Y'all, this is crazy as hell.
According to the documents available online, she was held in court for over 48 hours, and her bail was set at $2,500. But even after being arrested, Brenay didn't seem to learn her lesson. She continues to talk badly about everyone to this very day. The trial is still ongoing, and both she and Tim have been seen outside the courthouse in questionable outfits, laughing and acting like they're starring in their own reality show. However, this still isn't the end of it. Like we said before, this entire situation is just a never-ending mess. Now, things took an even wilder turn when both Tim and Akira actually ended up getting arrested and spending time in jail. Yeah, you heard that right. Not just one of them, but both. And the reason behind it makes this story even more bizarre than it already is. So here's what went down. Tim and Akira were both hit with criminal contempt of court charges. Basically, that means the judge found out that they both violated a court order, most likely related to their temporary...
Listen, I feel like we could do better than that. I feel like this is better than Tubi, y'all. I think Tyler Perry can do a better job than Tubi. For real, I feel like this is Tyler Perry worthy. I would actually tune in. I would. Because all these twists and turns, I'm just like, wow, that is crazy. This is insane. This is so insane. And then Akira is 37. Wow, she looks so much younger than that. I would have never thought she was 37 years old. I'm thinking she's 20-something.
Custody agreement. Remember, by this time, Akira and Tim were in the middle of a nasty custody and divorce battle, and things between them were extremely tense. Now, apparently, both sides had filed motions accusing each other of breaking the custody rule.
How old was Tim? I missed it, y'all. I missed it. How old is Tim? 27. Girl, 27 with a wait a minute, 37 with a 27-year-old, and then Brenay is 25. That's crazy. I did not know that.
In the middle of a nasty custody and divorce battle, and things between them were extremely tense. Now, apparently, both sides had filed motions accusing each other of breaking the...
Oh, it was an error? So how old? It was an error? No, she's 27. Okay. Because I was like, 37? She do not look like no damn 37. Okay.
Custody rules. Akira said Tim wasn't following the order, and Tim said Akira was the one not complying. The judge reviewed all those motions and came to the conclusion that both of them had, at some point, disobeyed the court's directions. As a result, both Tim and Akira were found guilty of criminal contempt on one count each. They were sentenced to serve a short jail term. They spent the entire weekend behind bars and were released the following Monday morning. Now, while this might sound like a minor thing on paper, this moment really blew up online. People were completely divided. Some said it was karma catching up to Tim for all the chaos he and Brenay caused, while others argued that Akira didn't deserve it and that she's been the one suffering the most since the beginning. And honestly, that second group has a point. Akira's supporters have been saying for a long time that she's been treated unfairly throughout this entire mess. They claim she's the one who's constantly being targeted and harassed, not the other way around. In fact, after all the court drama and her address being leaked online, Akira ended up getting her court documents.
But you know what? Akira going to jail one time out of all of this? Girl, because I don't know. I probably would have been up in there a few times. You know what I mean? Girl, you only went to jail once? I still want to know. I still want to know. How did you do this? Because my goodness, girl, one time? Girl, because I think I would have been in and out of there a few times.
Sealed to protect her privacy and safety. But of course, there's another layer to all of this because when is
Very impressive.
There's been a lot of speculation about the judge involved in this case. Some people online have accused him of using the situation for political gain, since he's allegedly running for election. The theory is that he wanted to look tough on court order violations, and by making an example out of Tim and Akira, two people whose case had already gotten a lot of attention online, he could appear stricter and more authoritative in the public eye. Here is a video of Black Goddess talking about the judge as well.
Akira and Tim has indeed went to jail. But why? I think everybody all along has been missing the bigger picture. There have been things that I have been seeing about this judge that I absolutely have not liked, do not like, and I feel like he is making an example out of them. Did you all know that he's running for election? This is something that will look good for him.
That being said, around the same time, Brenay had also had a warrant issued for her arrest, reportedly for violating a restraining order that Akira had filed against her earlier in the year. So yes, at one point in time, all three of them, Tim, Akira, and Brenay, had legal trouble hanging over their heads. Meanwhile, Devon, Brenay's ex-husband and honestly the chillest person in this entire circus, decided to take the high road. According to what we found online, he ended up dismissing his—
Oh no, ma'am. No. I will go to jail behind my kids. All right? I will go to jail behind. This ain't about going to jail behind no man. It's about my children. All right? Now I done told you stop putting that camera on my children. You keep putting the camera on my children. I told you stop doing that. All right? That means I'm about to put my hands on you since you don't know how to follow rules. I told you stop doing that. That's why I'm going to jail. I'm not going to jail over this dusty man. Thank you for taking the trash out. Thank you for doing that. But my kids, that's crazy. No.
His own case against Brenay and chose to stay completely out of the drama. So to put things in order, first, Brenay spent a weekend in jail for ignoring court orders. Then Tim and Akira were both sentenced for criminal contempt and spent their own weekend behind bars. Both served roughly 48 hours before being released. And now as it stands, both of them have criminal contempt records attached to their ongoing case. We mean, this just keeps getting messier and messier. September was already chaotic for all of them, but when October 2025 rolled around, another wild update hit Reddit. Apparently, Tim had now sued Akira in a $30,000 lawsuit for invasion of privacy and misuse of personal property. According to the legal documents found online, Tim filed this lawsuit against Akira on October 27, 2025. In it, he claimed that Akira accessed his computer without his knowledge, retrieving text messages and personal information. He also accused her of sharing that private info and the items collected from his computer with others, even after he allegedly told her not to. And for this supposed violation of personal space, Tim is now seeking $30,000 in damages. Because apparently cheating, lying, and starting drama online wasn't enough, now he wants to add cash in on it too. Well, we honestly don't know whether to laugh or just shake our heads at this one.
Laugh?
In our opinion, this lawsuit is extremely stupid. Sure, it might make the legal process a little more confusing and messy, but at the end of the day, all it really does is highlight Tim's own admission of cheating, which, if anything, is going to make Brenay lose that alienation of affection lawsuit faster than they can even blink. By claiming that Akira breached his privacy and accessed his computer, Tim is basically confirming that the evidence she has did come from his device and is actually his. So there's no denying it anymore. He cheated on his wife and slept with Brenay while they were still together. In simple terms, Tim just handed Akira the smoking gun and dug his own grave with a shiny new lawsuit-shaped shovel. However, Tim wasn't the only one trying to ride the illegally obtained evidence train. On October 26, 2025, Brenay also filed a motion to dismiss. In it, she claimed that, according to North Carolina law, a civil action can't proceed if it's based on evidence that was obtained illegally. So, in Brenay's eyes, the entire lawsuit against her should just be tossed out. Basically, she's trying to say, yeah, sure, I might have done it, but you weren't supposed to find out that way. Classic Brenay logic. In addition to this, the motion also states that Akira must pay the amount associated with responding to the lawsuit. However, legally speaking, Tim's invasion of privacy claim doesn't really hold much weight, especially since he and Akira were married at the time. In North Carolina, spouses usually share access to household devices, so unless Akira hacked into something that was clearly personal and password protected, it's not considered a violation. Thus, courts have long allowed cheating evidence found on shared computers or phones in alienation of affection cases. But all of this is finally reaching its climax now, with the trial for the lawsuit officially beginning at the start of this month. The trial kicked off in November 2025, and if you hop over to Reddit, you'll see that people are absolutely losing it, showing up to court, live updating threads, and trying to piece together every bit of information coming out. Some have even been recording Brenay in the courthouse hallways and during her opening statement. However, that little stunt has already gotten a few people in trouble. According to Barbie's livestream, several attendees were reported for secretly recording audio and video during the proceedings. And while we get that everyone's dying to know what's happening, breaking court rules isn't the move. The truth will come out either way, and we'll be here to update you as always. However, as people on the internet and Reddit have been sharing updates and details from the courtroom, we've gathered everything known so far that has been made public as of November 5th, 2025. Here's a detailed summary of the court updates and evidence presented so far. Akira presented text messages between Tim, Brenay, and Brenay's sister Karen that were extremely inappropriate. Brenay denied their authenticity, calling them fake, but the evidence suggested otherwise. A video shown in court allegedly depicted Brenay naked in Tim and Akira's home after they had sex, while Akira with her children were asleep in the house. Akira recognized her own living room in the footage, which she accidentally discovered on Tim's laptop. Other than this, Akira testified that she had no idea about the affair and had trusted Brenay deeply, even allowing her to babysit her children and treating her as a close friend. She explained that the affair destroyed what had been a happy, family-oriented marriage. Tim was described as a devoted husband and father until Brenay entered the picture. She also shared that during her childbirth, doctors warned that she or the baby might not survive, which made Tim emotional during the testimony. Other evidence includes texts where Tim insulted Brenay, calling her lazy, dirty, and a hoe. He was also caught bragging about how both Brenay and Karen offered sexual favors. Meanwhile, Tim lied to both Akira and Karen by saying that Brenay was trying to seduce him. Akira also recounted a disturbing incident where Brenay refused to leave their home, assaulted Akira's grandmother, and insisted, "Tim wants me here." Tim ultimately left the house with Brenay.
Girl, you put hands on the grandmother? I told y'all in part 1 that I felt like when the grandmother got involved, it shifted everything when it came to this situation. Because I know a praying grandmother and a praying mother, you don't mess with a praying grandmother and a praying mother. Y'all saw what happened to Kevin Samuels. I said it. Y'all saw what happened to Kevin Samuels. And I warned y'all. I said that if that man keep talking about Big Mama and Big Shirley like that, they gonna take his ass out. What happened? What happened? What happened? You don't attack the spiritual warrior and the spiritual protector in your family, in your community, or someone else's. You don't do that. You don't do that. Kevin Samuels did that shit on a large ass stage. And like I said, what is this about? Influence. It has spiritual consequences, and they are at a higher stake than us regular people, or just regular people that don't have that type of influence. So I've been saying that. So she sat up there, she attacked the praying grandmother that most likely was praying to get this woman removed from her granddaughter's home to protect her marriage and to protect her kids. And she shoved her. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. How I was raised, you don't do that type of shit. You don't do that type of stuff.
Afterward, Akira had to file 3 restraining orders, 1 for herself and 2 for her children, describing Brenay as a friend who became a stalker. Throughout the trial, Tim and his family, along with Brenay's mother, repeatedly disrupted proceedings by walking in and out, to the point that the judge had to intervene. Tim even tried to antagonize Devon in the courthouse, calling him names. During recess, a physical altercation reportedly broke out between Tim's mother and Akira's aunt. It was also confirmed that Tim and Brenay dated as teenagers, something Akira was unaware of until recently. Additional revelations included that Akira's mother had maxed out her credit cards to buy Tim a car, the same car he later used to leave with Brenay after the fight with Akira's grandmother. Overall, the testimony painted a disturbing picture. Brenay was manipulative, intrusive, and inappropriate.
So this man really broke. This man is broke. This man ain't got no damn money. This man don't have no money. What are you talking about? Akira's mother bought a car for them. Put the car in her name, I'm assuming. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I heard Akira has a new man. I'm not trusting it. I know that like everyone is so excited, like this is the best revenge, da 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 da. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you come out of a situation like that, Cardi B, you need to take time out to yourself. Because one thing I've noticed just based off of my own experience in life is that a man can pop back up, a new man in a new body, same spirit, because you haven't healed. So I don't know how long they've been together, but I don't trust that. I don't trust it. I know how this shit works on the spiritual side of things, and I'm telling you, new man, same, same spirit, same personality. Literally. That's typically how it goes. You have to break that cycle. And it requires you to recognize the patterns that you fell for in the last situation that you was in. You fell for those patterns. Are you able to recognize those patterns before you hop into a new relationship? And that's what women need to learn. That's why Cardi B is in the situation that she's in. She got somebody worse than Offset. You have to take time out to recognize the patterns from the last relationship before you get into a new one. Typically, when you don't, you end up in the same type of relationship just with a new face. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the whole point of you taking time out so you can recognize the bullshit that you didn't recognize in the last relationship. So then you can recognize it when you're out here on the dating scene so you don't end up in the same situation with just a new face. That's the whole purpose. I know people are like, I don't understand what's the point of healing. It's so you don't do the same thing again and again and again. So you're not out here repeating cycles over and over and over again. That's what that's about. Janae, Aiko, same thing. She got rid of her husband, went right back into the same cycle because she didn't even think to take time out to herself to recognize how she ended up in the last situation with her ex-husband died at that time, and then she went right back into the same cycle. Same thing with Queen Naja and Clarence Rack. Okay. Queen left that relationship, went right back into the same cycle. You have to take time out, and it may take time, depending on how severe that relationship was, to really see the patterns so that you can break them so that when you put yourself back out here on the dating scene, you're not falling for the same bullshit that you did the last time. That's what it's about. That is literally what it's about. It's not this thing that you do because it sounds cool or it sounds like, oh my God, I'm healing and I'm a better person. That's fake as hell. You need to be real with yourself so then you don't break your heart again and again and again. That is what that's about. So I be seeing women, they just keep falling for the same thing. And it's because you didn't take enough time out to recognize those patterns, AKA heal. That is what that's about. That's what that's for. For those that are wondering, take time out, recognize those patterns, and then put yourself back out there. So then you're not falling for the same BS.
Around the family. Tim was deceitful and hypocritical, and Akira was left heartbroken and betrayed. The court is now moving toward cross-examination, and there's still speculation about the unreleased messages between Tim and Karen, which would expose even more. In fact, the whole thing was so messy that according to Black Goddess, an older jury member decided to exit the courtroom because she couldn't bear to listen to Brenay talk.
Get it from the side, the front, the back, like that. That's what we heard. And then they had to cut it so that they can make sure that the volume was up. Baby, that was enough for juror number 2. Juror number 2 said, oh, Basically, I ain't gonna lie to you. Her expression was like, oh, hell no. All we saw this right here. We looked over, and the bailiff walked over to her because it was a bailiff on this, and then it was a bailiff in the back where we were. So he walks over to the judge, and he tells the judge something, and so the judge says, I need all the jurors to get up and exit the room. And he was like, don't talk to each other about the case. Don't even try to speculate what we talking about in here. So they leave out. Juror number 2 says, Your Honor, I can't do this. Basically, she was like, I cannot do this. She was an older Caucasian lady. I'm going to say around the age of 60-ish. Maybe 55, late 50s, early 60s. She said, I am sitting and my stomach been in knots just listening to, basically just listening to Akira talk because that's who I've been talking.
Now, before we wrap this up, let's be clear. Everything mentioned here comes from a Reddit page dedicated to Brenay and her never-ending drama. If you're curious, you can check it out yourself, but remember, nothing has been officially confirmed since neither Tim nor Brenay has made any public statements yet. The only person who hasn't stopped talking about the case is Brenay's sister Karen. She's been busy insulting people, defending Brenay, and stirring up even more drama online, which is ironic considering she's the same one who leaked the voice recording of Tim admitting that Brenay seduced him to Devon. At this point, people are pretty much done with her antics and have started boycotting her Facebook page, realizing that giving her attention only adds more fuel to an already messy fire. On that note, we're wrapping up today's video. Honestly, going through all these legal documents and piecing everything together was no easy task. So if we missed anything or got a detail wrong, feel free to correct us in the comments below. Also, share your thoughts or any new updates you've come across about this chaotic situation. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you believe Brenay and Tim will actually lose this lawsuit, or somehow walk away with a clean slate? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and let us know if you'd like us to make another update once the trial finally comes to an end.
Okay, make sure y'all go to that page and give a comment because I do want them to update us. I do. I wanted to respond to this question. I waited until the end of the live because I didn't want to disrupt the flow of the live. But someone asked in the chat, how do you slowly back away from people like this without making things awkward? People that copy you. And it's coming from a place of maybe destiny swapping. It's coming from a place of you can spot that it's not healthy. How do you back away? And I'm going to be so real with you. It doesn't matter how you do it, they're going to take issue with it. All right. So the only thing I'm going to tell you to do is to stand firm on removing them from your life, because this is something I've been dealing with, y'all, for quite some time. I've been speaking out about it a little bit on my Instagram. I spoke out a little bit on my TikTok, being gang stalked. It's something about people like this that grow obsessed with you. And it's truly the lack of, I'm going to turn inward. And it just seems like when you decide to remove yourself, instead of them dealing with their issues, you know what they do? They fixate on you and they grow obsessed. And it's because of their own insecurities. They literally do not want to turn inward and work on themselves and really introspect about why you decided to distance yourself, why you decided to separate yourself. Instead, in return, they make you their biggest focus instead of themselves. Again, like that's just what they do. So it doesn't matter how you distance, you can do it gracefully. You can do it very caringly. You can do it with kindness, love, and it won't matter because they refuse to turn inward. So the next thing that they do is they hyper focus on you, they obsess on you, then they go and they talk to others about you, and they're very delusional in their side of things about why this relationship ended or whatever the case may be. They're very delusional because they do not want to do the introspection, the inner work that is required for them to see the situation from a real place. So it does not matter how you end it, unfortunately. The only thing that you can do is stand in your truth, defend yourself, set the necessary boundaries, and don't allow someone to drain your energy all because you're afraid to separate yourself. You're afraid to distance yourself. You're seeing the signs. You're seeing how this is not a good person. This is not a healthy person. I probably most likely should not be around them. And I really need to distance myself. So you can't hold yourself hostage and allow this person to consistently and continue to allow them to drain your energy, and then you still give them access. Like, you separating yourself is out of self-love. It's not beef. It's out of self-love. Like, they are refusing to do the inner work and really look at how they may have showed up in your life and how that may have been an impact on you. They're just concerned about how you don't want to be in community with them or you don't want to be friends with them. So it's just something that, unfortunately, there's no way around it. There's just no way around it. She said that we worked together. I caught her staring at my family pics in my office multiple times, but the more I tried to pull away, the more she tries to invade my space. They grow obsessed. They grow obsessed. Listen, if you subscribe to my Patreon, I could tell you how to protect yourself. That's all you can do. The only thing you can do is spiritually protect yourself. That's it. Spiritually protect yourself. Put them in the freezer. That's what I be doing. I put people in the freezer so they leave me the hell alone, because I'm just like, seriously, I've already distanced myself. I don't think y'all understand what I have gone through within the last few years, y'all. I don't think you understand where I have literally removed people from my life graciously, with kindness, with understanding, with not being judgmental. Like, I'm not even judging them for where they are. I'm just seeing where they are, and I'm saying that's not safe for me. Not emotionally, not spiritually, not energetically. This person drains me. And unfortunately, they are not where I need them to be in order for me to be safe while being in community with them. So I've had to distance myself. And the way people have grown obsessed freaks me out. Like, honestly, it's the reason why I was doing my little lock-in series. And if you notice on Instagram, I just stopped. I just stopped, because I'm just like, what the hell? It's an obsession, and the obsession is hard to break because these people lack the awareness that it's them. Like, it's really them, that it's not you, it's them, and it's their refusal to see that it's them. And it's because they don't want to look past their ego. Okay, like, they don't want to look past, they don't want to move past their ego to see, you know what, I didn't show up the best. You know what, I can come across draining. You know what, I can come across leaning on others too much, or I can come across in a way that is not really healthy or beneficial for the other party that I'm in partnership with. So it doesn't matter how you go about it. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how you go about it. They grow obsessed. And I think it's because these are the type of people that tend to fixate on things outside of themselves. And you just happen to be that thing. You just happen to be that thing. Because if they fixate on you, then they don't have to face themselves. And that's typically what they do. And then when they don't want to focus on themselves and do the inner work on themselves, they tend to fixate on you. And then they tend to find people that enable how they feel about you. That's just what they do, because what they're doing is avoiding themselves. What I'm going to tell you to do is don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. See right through it. See it for what it is, and continue to move on with your life and protect yourself from their energy, and wish that or pray that they eventually come to terms with the fact that they need to go inward. They need to put their ego down, and they really need to confront themselves in a real way. And you know what? 2025 is all about that. 2025 is all about that. For the remainder of this year, you're going to have to walk in your truth. Whether you like your truth or not, you're going to have to walk in it. Because I was warning the girls, I kept warning the girls, because I'm having a vindication year. People been waiting on my karma. This year has been my vindication. I have been vindicated in so many ways, y'all. Like, I am really, truly blessed. If I was to go on and on and on, because this Akira situation, it reminds me of my 2022. Now, it didn't involve an affair and all of that, but it reminds me of a friendship or friendships that I have created. And it has been a consistent pattern in my life. And I decided to break that officially. And the thing about healing is that when you're on a healing journey, you will recognize the patterns in new energies, in new spirits. And you have to determine whether or not that person, well, you start to realize that that person is not healthy for you, because the same spirit is in this new person, the same personality, the same behaviors. And you tend to attract these people because you have not recognized the patterns yet. And then when you meet these new people, right, you start to recognize the patterns, right? But you're still trying to figure things out. And so once you actually figure things out, and then you realize, like, oh, I'm repeating the same patterns of the past, you know what? I need to disconnect myself. That energy that you're dealing with that's in this cycle, they are obsessed. Like, that's just what they are, because they refuse to go inward and look at themselves. And it's just an avoidance. Like, think of an avoidance personality. They avoid themselves and they fixate on you because egotistically that makes them feel better. And then they scapegoat you as like the problem, like you did something to them. you slighted them in some type of way, and so they fixate on that, even though it's highly delusional. It's 100% delusional, because again, they're refusing to turn inward. Like, that is what that is. So if you're the pattern breaker, you're choosing to see the pattern for what it is. You've done the healing work to where you're able to recognize it, and so now you're taking the next step within your healing journey to break that cycle. And you know what they're doing? Taking it personally. You know what they're doing? Fixating on it in a way to grow obsessed and making you out to be the bad person, when really it's you just choosing what is best for you. Your peace, your self-respect, your self-love, also your growth. Like, you're dedicated to your growth, and they're taking that and turning it into something that is just completely not even true. But you have to leave them to deal with that. That's part of their shadow work. That's part of the inner work and the self work that you did on yourself. So if you did the work on yourself, they have the same abilities to do it on themselves. They're just choosing not to. So you can't feel any type of way. The only thing you could do is just distance yourself, remove yourself. And I recommend that you do it gracefully. I know it's hard because people can come at you and like attack you, call you out your name, gossip about you, spread lies about you, try to ruin your reputation. And then also another thing that I notice about these people, they tend to have control issues. So like, if they can't control you, then they control others, and they lie on your reputation to try to control how others see you, how they perceive you, how they think. Like, they try to control how others look at you. Like, right? Like, so if people look at you in a highlight, or they look at you in a respectable manner, they go to those people and they try to change the narrative in their minds as a means of control, because they can't control you. So it's really crazy. Like, honestly, it's really crazy. But this 2025 has been a year of exposure. Like, if you look into the collective, there are people that are being exposed, and then there are people that are being revealed. The people that are being exposed are those that refuse to face themselves. They have hid behind these facades. They have hid behind these masks, these fake personas, and that's not their truth. So now they're being forced to walk in their truth proudly, but they're being forced to walk into their truth. And then other people are being revealed, and they're also walking in their truth. But a lot of times these type of people have casted spells on them, you could say. People have lied on them, people have gossiped on them, and so people saw them a certain way. These people are being revealed, and the truth is being exposed as well for them. But the reveal is more like it's like an unveil type of experience spiritually, where it's like, oh, this person is not who I thought they were. And you know what I noticed about the parallels when it comes to this situation? The people that lie, right, and they hide behind these masks, they project who they really are on this person over here that has been lied on, and their reputation has been tarnished and things like that. So 2025, it really doesn't matter whether you like your truth or you don't like your truth, whatever the case may be, where you feel like your truth is morally good or morally wrong, or somewhere in between, right? Because there's that in between too. This between two worlds beyond. It doesn't matter. Like, it just needs to be that you have to walk in it, whatever that is. You have to face it. And I tried to tell the girls, one thing about me, I try to bring the girls on when it comes to things that I'm doing and the things that I'm into, like weight loss, makeup, hair, growth, healing. And I warned the girls on this channel for years. I was in my old apartment. Hell, I was 40, 50 pounds heavier. I said, if you don't heal, you're going to be forced to heal. And you don't want to be forced to heal, because when you go into healing, you're forced to heal. You have to face yourself, and sometimes facing yourself is not easy. So what a lot of people are dealing with in 2025, they're coming to the realization that their old ways are not working anymore. It's not working. What they were able to do before, it's just not working. These are the same people that take shortcuts. These are the same people that feel like they can just fake their way to wherever they're going. These are the type of people that wear fake personas and things like that. And it mirrors Brenay perfectly. Like just faking it, faking it, faking it. And so now we're in this energy where publicly you're going to be recognized for who you really are. Not your persona, not your mask, but for who you really are. And a lot of people are not ready for that. They're not ready for that. So it's a lot of that. And then we have this other collective group where you've always felt misunderstood. You feel like people don't understand you. People don't see you for real. They see their perception of you, but they don't see you. They're going to start seeing you for real. And I feel like you may struggle with being seen. And I'm not talking about like, yeah, you could have been seen all of your life. No, I'm talking about being seen. Being seen. All right. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch Beyond the Lights, the movie, where that man was on the balcony and he was trying to rescue that girl from jumping off oh my God, what is it called? I'm going blank here. This is why I have ADHD. I try to write down what I'm gonna say before I say it. Balcony, jumped off and he said, I see you. Okay, he didn't just see a girl that was just like this pop star or whatever. He saw a girl that was running from something and he said, I see you. So if you struggle with being seen, you don't have no choice. And a lot of you have been spiritually being pushed, or there's something going on that's telling you to embrace being seen, but you've been struggling with it. And baby, at this point, you don't have no choice. You're going to be seen for who you are. And maybe you're used to being a wallflower like myself. I'm not used to being in the spotlight. Everybody's looking at me and everybody trying to figure out what I'm doing. It's been such a journey. Honestly, like it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Like even with the obsession energy that I've been dealing with, it's been a journey. But you've been pushed to put yourself out here to be seen because it's your time now. And it's part of all of this. Like 2025, it's just part of scales balancing. So if those people are being revealed, I'm sorry, if those people are being exposed, you're being revealed and it's your time to be seen and you need to walk into your light. That is what that's about. So there's duality going on. Okay. There's a lot of duality going on. And to be honest, these people can walk into their light. Like the people that are being exposed can walk into their light, but they have to face their truths, the uncomfortable ones first. And I feel like the people that are struggling with being seen, you've already faced those truths, but you facing those truths, you know how people can be judgmental. So you're bracing yourself to be seen because maybe you came from a childhood where you dealt with a lot of judgment. You dealt with a lot of bullying. You dealt with people picking on you and things like that. So you're struggling with being seen. That's the duality that's going on right now in the collective. And I'm just sitting back watching all of this. And then you may even be dealing with people that are like, when's you gonna get her karma? And the whole time they don't understand that you've been walking in your truth this whole time. You've been walking in your truth. It's just they never wanted to accept you for who you were, or they never saw you for who you really were. They saw what they wanted to see. A lot of times it's projections. So they don't understand that you've been walking in your truth this whole time. Then waiting on your karma, it's never coming because you've been walking in your truth this whole time. The only thing that's left to do is to walk in your light. That's it. That's it. That's it. So I've been warning the girls. I literally said that this was gonna happen. I said, if you don't heal, if you don't take out the necessary time to heal, and y'all gotta understand, I've been doing it for about 4 years strong, like really locked in, just really dedicated to healing. People have tried to trigger me with competing with me. People have tried to trigger me with lying on my name, like my reputation, like trying to get other people to see me differently. I've done a lot of that. I've been game stalked and cyber stalked online obsessively. It's been like a non-stop experience. And another thing too that I noticed about my healing journey is when I changed and I shifted, the unlucky girl, because I've been unlucky my whole life. I've stumbled on words at the worst times. I've fallen at the worst times. I've been clumsy at the worst times. I've been awkward at the worst times. You're talking to the most unlucky woman, okay? But one thing that I noticed is when the energy shifted, one thing I noticed was I became lucky when I changed my outlook on unlucky moments. I became lucky when I changed my outlook on unlucky moments. So betrayal, I've dealt with that a lot. Like I've been betrayed so much in my life, from friends, from family, from lovers. It doesn't matter. I've been betrayed. And one thing that I have changed my perspective on is I look at betrayal as a blessing. You are blessing my life by betraying me. Why? Because you're revealing yourself to me. I thought you were a safe person. You're showing me for the first time that you're not. And I thank you so much for doing that, because now I get a choice in keeping you in my life based off of who you really are. And I appreciate that. Like, thank you so much. So, with me walking into this perspective, I noticed that as soon as I started taking my power back by shifting my perspective, I started noticing the vindication over my life. Started noticing that now that I shifted the energy and I literally took my power back by shifting my perspective, vindication. So now I'm lucky. I'm lucky. How does that work? How? People been shitting on me my whole life. How am I all of a sudden lucky? Because I decided to change my perspective. And that is how you alchemize. That is how you transmute. That is how you shift energy. And that is how you turn tables. And you don't have to go to jail, and you don't have to put your hands on nobody. You don't got to go to jail. You don't got to put your hands on nobody. You could do it right in the comfort of your home by taking on a healing journey in a real way, from a genuine place, and change and turn those tables. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm waiting on people, and I'm telling you, it just seems like as soon as I let it go, and I mean let it go because I found peace in it, it just seems like all of a sudden the energy shifted, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all of these things happening to people that did me wrong. Like, it's crazy. And then people are now able to see me for who I really am. And now the lies that were spread over my name are being cleared up. And I never had to defend myself. I never had to say anything. Honestly, I just left and separated myself gracefully. I didn't really say much. I didn't even really do anything. I kind of went into isolation for about 3.5 years, was with myself for a while, dated myself, hung out with myself, got to know myself, fell in love with myself. By the way, I just need to say that I fell in love with myself. Like, you can't tell me shit. Okay, don't try to tell me I'm not that girl, because I'm gonna tell you, what do you mean I'm not that girl? Like, I'm really that girl. And when I went into isolation, I didn't feel like that. I felt like shit. I felt shitted on. And then I came out like, no, I'm really that girl. And the reason is because I also changed my perspective. I'm like, why would people feel the need to do all of this to me? And I haven't done anything to them. Like, what is it about me that made people feel the need to go out of their way to do this? And then it didn't stop with them doing what they did to me. They also stopped and obsessed after the fact. And I'm like, listen, you did what you did, right? You got what you wanted, right? Why are you not happy? Like, why are you not, I don't know, like running off into the sunset, celebrating about how you shitted on me and you made me feel like shit? Like, why are you not happy with the results of what you did? And they were not happy. If anything, they grew more and more and more obsessed. And that is what I've been dealing with. So when it comes to this, I'm telling you, ladies, do the inner work. Like, do the inner work. It pays off in ways that money cannot buy, new friends cannot replace. Like, it pays off in ways that you just don't understand. And I'm on the other side of it. And to be honest, could I gloat? Of course. Of course. But honestly, I don't want to gloat. Like, I just want to be happy in my own little bubble. And I want to continue to move forward and spread the wisdom from all of the experiences that I've learned. And through this process, like, I want to be known for being the woman that influence you to turn to yourself, to find your inner power and stand in it. Like, that's it. I don't want to be the kind of content creator where you just follow me and you just copy every little thing I do. I really want you to see me as someone that's just a catalyst for you to turn inward and find your inner power and stand in your truth. Like, that's what I want, because that's what I did. And it has changed my life. And I found genuine happiness and like real self-love. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced self-love like this. So it's just something that I want to be known for. I want to be known for that. I want to be known for you turning inward, not following me and just being a follower of me. I really want to be known for that content creator, influencer that encouraged you to turn inward and you found yourself, you found your identity, you found self-love, you found self-care, you found these things within yourself, and now you're able to stand confidently within yourself. And now we sit at a table together. And we have coffee and we chit chat and we like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And not like this trauma dumping session, but like, this is the other side. And we're able to be happy and joyous and free. That's what I want. So that's all I have to say. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I did not think that this story was going to touch me in this way, but it really has, because it really just mirrors so much for me when it comes to my own personal life. And I'm pretty sure it does for a lot of people. And I think that that's why this story has grown so huge. And I'm interested in learning more about this. So I just wanted to answer that question, that unfortunately, it doesn't matter how you slowly back away from them. It does not matter. You can't make it about them. You just need to make it about yourself. And you need to separate yourself, that whatever they're struggling with and that they're dealing with when it comes to you distancing and separating yourself, because it's genuinely what is best for you. If they take issue with that, it's their problem. It's not yours. And you just need to make that known. Okay. So that's all that I have regarding this live. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you in my next one.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.